might have just forgotten the message.
Let me see. So yeah, welcome, Matt. Rejoining the Wednesday group.
Yeah, yo.
How many weeks ago was it that Oolong
It was
killed?
like
It wasn't that long ago.
Killed like 50, 60s, so like 20, 30 sessions ago. Since he left, probably closer to like 40, 50.
Yeah, like half a year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, more
I
than
think
that.
I bowed out
And a
about
bit.
October.
Yeah, so close to a year ago.
Yeah, I think I actually went back because I was curious, and I'm pretty sure you actually left in the September of last year, so it is almost a year to the day.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Sierra is the previous scribe. Eldwin, it would be your turn to scribe this week if you're okay with that.
Got it.
And with LJ out, does anyone want to step in as quartermaster this week?
I guess I can.
All right, thank you for that.
I don't really know my way around his sheet.
I don't think anyone does.
It's kind of crazy.
Sheet is a mystery.
But no, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah,
We should probably ask him to simplify it down a little bit so other people can use it easier.
Yeah,
I can always just Control F. It's fine.
Yeah. Well. So, why don't we do a quick recap of last week?
So we began on the 59th of spring. We reached Drevens Pass. We parked the ship several hours away from the city, clandestinely in a cave, and we left Seal and Manassa to guard the ship. Eldwin, Mungus, Nasira, and Anvir approached the city gates on foot, and we entered and we headed to an inn that was recommended to us called Finnegan's Fling. Voli entered the city via more secretive routes, bringing Nathaniel, LJ, Davian, Ellen, Mirren, and Dosha with as little notice as possible. We learned a few bits of lore related to the city. The Finnegan's Fling is in the southern working class area of the city. Another inn called the Deep Dark is in the northeast quadrant of the city near a lake. The Steel Shadow operates from the northwest quadrant of the city, which is near the Noble House, who are the Agra, Stevison, and the Cavero. And that section of the city, normal people can't get into without invitation. We hired rooms at the Finnegan's Fling, and the owner, Edelyn, she seemed capable enough, but she eyed Anvir with a lot of suspicion. We gathered that she's a bit racist against elves for some reason. We paid for their fancy, well-appointed suite that has a bunch of bedrooms so the whole party stay together. And we kind of retired to the common room, just like getting some food and waiting for Voli and the others. Mungus joined a card game at a nearby table with like a group of like roguish thieves guild looking type. He loses 20 gold, but he makes a friend, kind of a friend named Zalek. A woman who later introduces herself as Nancy was observing the card game, and she was being really flirty with some of the rogues. She comes over to our table afterwards, after the card games end, and she says she heard we were from Candle and she has family there, and so she kind of chats and drinks with us for a couple hours. Eldwin gets a magic message from Voli that he and the others have arrived, so Mungus and Eldwin go meet him in the inn yard and give him one of the keys to our suite. It gives it to Davian, and so the rest of our group kind of head up to the suite as subtly as possible. Mungus and Eldwin then return in the common room, and we continue chatting with Nancy, and Anvir notices that Nancy is very subtly watching a farmer-looking man near the bar. And the farmer guy is kind of glancing around nervously, and there's another man there at the bar with the farmer. And then a fight starts outside the inn, and it draws the attention of most of the inn patrons and staff. And Mungus and Onvir go outside, and Onvir uses magic to hold 5 of the brawlers while Mungus knocks the 6th one unconscious. Nasira stays inside during all this, and she continues watching just around the common room to see if the fight could be a distraction for anything. She notices Nancy walk in the front door, but she seems just kind of unconcerned by the brawl, and Nasira doesn't see Nancy do anything else. When Onvir returns, he tells the group about the farmer that he had observed earlier, because he hadn't had a chance to tell us before. And at that point, we notice that the farmer and his companion are gone. But Nasira didn't see them leave. But Nasira mentions at this point that she watched Nancy leave kind of nonchalantly during that brawl. So the party goes to bed. Our NPCs are determined to hide in the room to avoid the possibility of Mirren and Ellen being recognized. And Nasira arranges for comforts to be brought to the room, like meals and baths and stuff. Mungus heads into the city wanting to locate a brothel for subtle currency exchanges, because apparently he distrusts banks. Eldwin plans to visit the market to make subtle inquiries on the criminal underground, and so Onvir goes along with them. They begin by following Edelin's instructions for how to find the Thieves Guild, which is what Edelin refers to the group that Mungus had been playing with the night before. She calls them the Thieves Guild. The center of the town has a bridge of old dwarven construction crossing a very deep abyss. And then the market has another dwarven built pit. And there's like stairs leading down into the pit, and apparently somewhere down in that pit is where the Thieves Guild operates. So Mungus calls down into the pit, and a rogue comes out, and Mungus asks for a lead on a brothel, and the rogue slips him a paper with an address. So then the 3 go to the address, and the bouncer recognizes Mungus as he is one of the players from last night's card game, not Zalek, but a different one. And then Mungus goes to a room with a half-orc at the brothel and passes some time, emerges with a black eye and 150 gold coins in place of the 2 gold bars that he had planned to exchange.
He 100% got begged.
It's a she-orc, by the way. It just for clarification, it was one of those like really muscular she-orcs. So
okay.
That does not disprove what I said.
Meanwhile, Onvir actually notices Nancy from last night, the woman from last night, hanging out in the common room at the brothel. He doesn't know if she's a patron or if she's working, and she doesn't notice him, as far as he knows. So then the trio
you would have been pretty sure she was working there with how she was dressed.
I was gonna say, I feel like I remember that she was definitely working.
Gotcha. So the trio heads to the marketplace next. Onvir finds a jeweler and buys a pendant to assist with spellcasting. Mungus buys some brass knuckles with spikes on them. Eldwin casts Detect Magic and notices a pink-haired woman who has many magic auras on her. And he notices her shopping at a fruit stall. Eldwin also notices a magic signature in a market stall that sells junk, so he investigates that first, and he finds a magic pitcher like in among a pile of pots. And the proprietor doesn't seem to know that the item is magic. He offers it for 10 gold. Eldwin haggles the price to 15 gold, but he walks away with a pristine silver-colored pitcher inlaid with gold and bearing a magic aura. Next, Eldwin approaches the fruit vendor, but the pink-haired woman has disappeared. The vendor mentions that he doesn't know who she is and that she's new to town. Onvir casts Locate Person and senses Scarlet within 1,000 feet to the north of the gate to the affluent part of the city where we can't currently pass. So that's the first lead we've had on Scarlet since her kidnapping. All 3 of them return to the inn. They update Nasira and the NPCs. We debate whether to try to infiltrate the northern part of the city ourselves, but we decide to wait on Voli to see what he has managed with his sister. Eldwin is approached by a man in the tavern asking if he can hire us to help find his brother. He mentions that he saw Onvir and Mungus break up the fight last night, so he thinks we can help him. He says he woke up in an alley this morning and discovered that his brother is missing. We later figure out that the missing brother is the farmer from last night, and the man seeking to hire us was the companion standing with him at the bar. So if we intend to accept the job, we discussed that we could investigate the alley, try to find further clues about the brothers and what happened last night. And finally, after hearing about everything that the boy day, Nasira contemplates revisiting that brothel as a patron to maybe get a private audience with Nancy and see if she can get any more information.
All right.
And that is what we ended.
Very good.
God, we did a lot.
Thank you for that. So, it is the 60th of spring at 3 p.m. currently. You are at the tavern. I think you were going to go look into the disappearance. Although, before we start, I thought we could have a discussion about Doodles and figure out, because I know we talked a little bit about it, Matt, but I thought maybe we could work together to brainstorm a good introduction for him.
Cool.
So why don't you kind of tell everyone about your concept for Doodles?
I know me and you were talking about it a little bit.
So, Doodles is a barkeeper, with like a cook and a brewer, winemaker, alcohol person, and he's kind of trying to get out of town pretty quickly.
All right.
Ties to the underground as well.
So he has kind of a criminal background. Being level 11, he is probably someone of pretty large renown somewhere. Because it's not often that people who are that powerful and that well trained just kind of work as a bartender.
Unless they're very deliberately trying to hide who they are.
Yeah, he's laying low.
Yeah, exactly. Unless, like, he's hiding from someone.
I will also say, depending on how urgently you need to get out of town, that may be a problem considering we just got here and kind of need to do some shit.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to get out of this town. Because I think he probably would have hidden somewhere where he's not being hunted. So I'm guessing he came here to kind of lay low.
Okay.
That was the plan.
Or maybe he could be working at this bar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Actually, I was thinking maybe Wolfen could introduce you all to him as maybe like the cool bartender who like gave him some free drinks last night or something. Although why would he want to join the group?
To
Safety in numbers.
Yeah, and I assume they're adventurers going on adventures, and it's difficult to keep up with adventurers.
Yeah, you probably would have noticed Mungus beating the crap out of a bunch of people last night at the bar.
And adventurers also like money.
True.
You pay off debt.
So yeah, you probably know that. Like I said, that this group seems to be from out of town. You probably have heard that they've done quite a bit in the Candleholm region of the Deep. They've probably because you guys did you reveal your group's name when you came into town?
I think we introduced ourselves as people, but we didn't say Grey Wanderers.
All right, so then you probably wouldn't know anything about their background then. You probably would have just seen them get into a fight with a bunch of like drunk people.
Broke up a fight.
Well, Mungus kind of beat a bunch of people up. By
he hit the one guy.
I had but his one person.
he broke up a fight by beating people up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, because Anvir held Pearson on 5 of them, so Mungus only hit one of them.
What?
Yeah, and there was some magic being thrown around.
Yeah, it was the end of the day. I just used my highest level spell slot.
Which also probably got your attention from the bar.
Yeah, just paralyzing 5 blokes at the flick of a wrist.
Yeah, well,
I did have that little interaction with the other Goliath in town, basically telling, "Hey, why am I doing your job?"
Yeah, to which the Goliath would say, "It's not my job to beat everyone up. I just break up fights."
Onvir was just being mum energy, like, I'm so disappointed in you all. Now go home.
Yeah. So yeah, there was definitely some indicators that this is a group of talented mercenaries by all the different things they could do.
Cool.
Now, I guess we don't have too many details on where you come from or what you did yet.
I will
And,
get that. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that here. But yeah, I was thinking maybe Wolfen, their bard ally, could introduce you to the group.
Cool.
Though, what excuse would you be giving them to join them? Because if you're obviously, you can't just say I'm a bartender.
You couldn't. You could just make up a bullshit excuse of you're quite capable, but work as a bartender and want to join us because you were serving that bloke last night and want to check on his safety.
I imagine you all are in need of good food when you're out on your adventures. I'm a great cook, and also bring good drink along with me.
Well, I, for one, could use some better provisionings and comforts on the road. I'm not fond of the
Look, I'm sorry. I could only create very basic food with magic.
Rations suck. You're in.
Let's face it, Mungus had no objections the second he heard the word alcohol.
I don't know if I am
Join
strong enough to
sooner.
carry all the alcohol I need for that one.
Hey, Doodles, you think you and Wolfen can go check out the Rogues Guild and give us an idea of what the underground looks like?
Wolfen would probably be bowing out for the time being. He still has that other project he's working on, but he would say Doodles maybe. Well, actually, so are you just coming on as a cook? Is that what you're telling them, or are you actually telling them that you can do other things?
I mean, I think
Oh
we
shit, I did it
argue
again,
at some
didn't I?
point that you should-
I did it again. I'm sorry, guys.
What?
That's
I would
fine.
use my mage hand to be cleaning a table on the other side of the room while I'm having this conversation with them.
All right, so you show that you have some obvious
Drop some
magical
hints, yeah.
potential. Yeah.
Do you have any obvious weaponry?
I'm carrying.
I guess what does Doodles look like? All right, so I was just talking about it, but you guys seem like you jumped right into the scene. So let's do the scene. Let's just do the scene. All right, so you guys are sitting at your table talking to the farmer when Wolfen comes.
So we can see his portrait on this sheet.
Well, you should be able to see it on the bottom of the screen, but yeah.
Right, but the bigger one. Yeah.
So as I was saying, you guys are kind of sitting talking to the farmer when Wolfen would come over with a big smile on his face. He says, "Friends, I have a individual here who is interested in meeting you. His name is Doodles. He would possibly like to join you in your group. So, Doodles, what would you look like to them?"
Doodles is a 2.5 foot tall halfling. About middle age. Well, not quite middle age. A little younger than middle age. But he's wearing barkeep clothes, leather armor. He carries a sword, a rapier on his side, and has a guitar-looking thing on his back, along with a bunch of knives and a bunch of knives and cooking utensils around his belt.
So Wolfen would go ahead.
I would be using magic to clean things, flipping between prestidigitation and mage hand, wiping down tables and then cleaning them off and all that fun stuff.
So Wolfen would say, I met him last night. He seemed like a good little guy. Gave me some free drinks, and we talked a lot about songcraft and some new travel plans I was making. Well, Doodles, this is the group. They're a pretty cool group of people. I'll let you guys talk. I'm gonna go gather my stuff and get some songs ready for tonight. And Wolfen would take off back to his room. So yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, I'm always one for adventure, and I imagine I can make some better food than you've had in these lands and on the road.
Good.
Alright, so everyone kind of stares at you uncomfortably.
Welcome aboard. You don't get
can I
piggyback
get
rides.
you- Is there any food or drink you want right now? Might as well use the manager's discount.
Yeah, sorry, my dog's started going nuts as he was introducing himself. I wanted to talk, but all you would have heard was barking.
So, the farmer who's with you, did I give you a name for him?
I don't think you did.
Nope.
Not that I recall.
Let me
We
see.
probably would have asked.
No, can't find it if I did. So the farmer who's with you, say he gave you his name. His name is Zucka.
Zucka?
Zucka. He says.
What was his brother?
His brother's name? Oh, jeez, hang on.
Zaka, you were observed at the bar last night, and it was noticed that your brother was nervous. Perhaps you could explain what you talked about with him yesterday, or any goings-on, or
He says, just
interactions. That he was
Anything that might have
having?
led to
well,
people wanting to make him go missing.
just what I mentioned, that he kind of fell in with the wrong crowd and that he owed some powerful people money. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, he was working.
Zucka, let me ask you this. Let me stop you right there. You mean to tell me you've come to a bunch of hired guns because your brother owes someone else money? Why are we going to wreck our mission to save someone that already owes someone money? Can you pay us to go get your brother?
He says, not too much. I mean, I'm not all that rich, but I mean, you all are. I thought you're heroes or something, right? Don't you help people?
He's new.
Crickets.
Um,
Crickets.
Wait, hold on.
Well, some of you do, not all of you. I don't have too much I can offer you, but I mean, I'll give you what I can. And he kind of looks over at Doodles, who just walked up and said, Doodles can vouch for me. I'm a good guy. I pay all my bills, keep my nose clean.
I think we.
Doodles, should we risk our necks to save this guy that owes people money?
Mungus, I feel like the deal at this more or less moment is we're just going to check out the area, see if we can figure things out.
All right, let's do it.
It's a
He's
very
the wrong
light
person.
promise at this point.
Were you saying something, Doodles?
He's a long-time customer. It might be worth at least checking out.
How
Be
much
great
does
if
he
we
owe the
could-
bar?
What was that?
How much does he owe the bar right now?
Zucka says, I don't owe any money to the bar. I always pay my tabs.
Yeah, I'm not sure who his brother owes money to, but
Says, not the
These,
bar. My brother doesn't actually drink all that much.
All right.
His
Alright.
vices are more gambling, unfortunately for him.
That would
Okay.
explain them owed
finding
money.
where these strings lead could lead to some insight and meet some interesting people.
Okay.
Because I really appreciated all of you, and I will get you whatever money I can. I'll have to maybe sell some of my my assets, but I think I can get you all some kind of payment.
I know that Matt has met a couple of the characters in this group, but I don't know if like
Yeah, I guess we could do some
Mungus and-
descriptions. I don't think he's met Nasira or Mungus, so what would
Oh, that's
Mungus
right.
look like to him?
Right, I was still on.
I mean,
So Mungus is a 7-foot tall barbarian, Goliath, or Goliath barbarian. If there's a distinction, I'll know it. But he is 7 foot tall. He wears no armor and carries a flail with him. He has tattoos all over his body, including a glowing face of Anvir, which he doesn't regret one bit, but apparently everyone thinks it was a dumb idea. But his hand glows, and he, that's, I feel like, the best description of Mungus. Very
Just want to
capable.
reiterate.
No,
I
Mungus.
never thought it was a bad idea.
None of
I
us
was
said-
just saying that if someone had done it in real life, it would be so fucking creepy.
Doesn't Mungus have scale mail on? I thought you did have some armor.
Yeah, I never really thought I had armor, but I'll do some scale mail as long as it's not too cumbersome.
Oh no, I mean for you, scale mail would be easy. You're super strong, right?
There are
Yeah.
some things that would get turned off by it, though, like your unarmored movement and stuff.
What's the unarmored movement?
Barbarians get extra movement if they're not wearing armor.
There's unarmored defense. I'm not familiar with unarmored movement.
I'm pretty sure it's part. I'm pretty sure they get
think-
like they go up to like it's not as crazy as the monks, but I'm pretty sure they go up to like 40 or something.
I think they just have 40. I don't think that's based on armor. The only thing you get is con adds to your AC if you don't have armor. But
Well, I am wearing a mercenary uniform, like, while we're here. So I put on my mercenary.
Maybe
So I'm
I
wearing a mercenary uniform.
all right.
Maybe I just misinterpreted the extra movement.
It's just that he can't wear heavy armor.
Yeah, which
So that
scale
would-
mail is
yeah.
medium. Because his AC would be a lot lower if he wasn't wearing armor. He's at 15 right now. But what about Nasira? What do you look like?
She's a very slender, fairly tall humanoid woman. She's very poised, very graceful. She's wearing really finely tailored garments in some sort of silk. They're trimmed with embroidery. She doesn't have any visible weapons or armor. She has like dark honey-colored skin, and her eyes are like a warm yellow color, and they have elliptical pupils, which is maybe the first hint that she may not actually be human. But she actually wears a coif concealing her hair, and her face is veiled below her eyes. So other than around her eyes and her hands, you don't actually see any of her skin. She has really long fingers with pointed nails, and she's wearing golden serpentine cuffs on both forearms. And I think that's, yeah.
All right. So, so the group is talking to Zucca here, who says he can get you a reward. And yeah, you would have Doodles walk up, and apparently you guys are okay with him joining. So what do you want to do? What is
So-
the
What time of day
plan?
is it? Is it morning?
The
We just came back from the shops.
Oh, it's nighttime.
3
Oh,
in
it's
the
afternoon, okay.
afternoon. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, let us investigate this alley where you woke up.
Yeah, sure, I can take you back there. So everyone is going, I assume.
Get to this task over with, perhaps.
I think we might have had this discussion already, but am I familiar with this farmer that we? Because I met him in person. Like I've seen him in person. I now know his name.
Zucca?
No, the other guy.
You've seen him. I don't think you know his name. But if
Didn't
you...
I
Zucca
think
just
we
tell
asked.
us his name?
Yeah,
asked him.
so if Zucca, or if you ask Zucca, he would say his name is...
For some reason, I had the inn's name down as Flint instead of Flint. So I just noticed that on the map it's Flint.
my brother's name is Ephron.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Like for the effects of like locate creature, if I'd be considered familiar with him.
Generally, familiar means that you have spoken to the person, and kind
Okay.
of like interacted with them, basically. So
I
seeing
wasn't.
someone, not, I would say like you know of them, but probably not familiar.
Yeah, it's very hard to draw that line of when are you familiar.
Yeah, at least for me, familiar is more like you kind of know them a little bit.
Okay, I wasn't sure if familiar would be like if you saw this person again, you'd be able to go, oh, it's this person.
Yeah. So probably wouldn't be able to locate creature.
All good.
All right, so you head down the street. It's middle of the day, so the streets have people moving to and fro. Luckily, no one really knows you, so you're pretty much left alone. You would get to an alleyway where your friend Zucca kind of shows you some spots in the street. He says, "This is where or this is where I woke up, where we had passed out, and yeah, my brother was gone, so I have no idea where he went." And I think we did mention that from what he said, you would guess that magic was used, a sleep spell. I think someone rolled Arcana.
I think a couple of us rolled like our perspective magic thing. I rolled a pretty high religion, I think, was to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps you can you or Eldwin can, Anvir or Eldwin, perhaps do a detect magic, and I will take a look around with my special sight as well. I'll use my blind sight just to see if there's anyone
I can
hiding
turn
or
my
watching
off,
us
but I'm
here.
not good at detecting it.
Well, you don't see anything with blind sight. Investigation might give you some clues here, though.
I'm gonna originally cast detect magic.
Okay. So while that's happening, do you have any investigators?
I'm not a particularly
I don't
great
remember.
investigator, but I could
I'm-
give it a shot.
Unfortunately, I'm also
I
our,
guess we could all
our
try
group's
hanging out
investigator.
in the alley.
Doodle,
What if
are
I
you
did
good
a
at looking for
survival-
things?
Can I try like maybe Goliath trackers? I could maybe pick up a scent.
Oh,
If I do
that's a good
survival.
point. What about survival?
You can also use perception to look for traces
I'll
of
do
a
that one.
trail.
I have
Yeah,
advantage.
Anvir's our perceiver.
Okay.
Why did I roll on
Not
that
that
one?
time.
Oh my
Not
lord.
that time.
That should have been with advantage, but it didn't roll with advantage for some reason.
Yeah,
Roll one more
I
then.
set it to toggle, but you can roll again.
There we go.
There it is.
So, yeah, there's a couple of different signs of movement through the area. Unfortunately, with all the with all the street traffic that has probably come through here, you wouldn't be sure which trail might be the one you're looking for. However, survival might help with that.
I just rolled a 15 survival. Do you want me to roll one more time?
We can
Say
use
it's
the 15.
advantage.
15's fine. So with
Cool.
Please use that one, yeah.
with investigation of 11, let's see, what would you find?
Passive 13, if that makes any difference.
Well, so do you want to spend some time investigating to get your passive? Like a couple of minutes?
I mean, it's not mine. I just said that because I noticed it.
Nasira?
Thinking maybe I look at Nasir and say, hey, Mirren was eyeing this guy last night, right? Do you want
Nancy.
to... Not Mirren, I'm Nancy. Nancy was eyeing this guy last night. Do you want to go see if she knows where he is? Or maybe she can tell us who he owes money to?
I was contemplating visiting that place later this evening.
Alright,
Perhaps.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you got an 11 from your initial look around. Do you want to take some time and investigate more thoroughly for your passive? Which would be 13, which is a little higher.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Alright, so you're taking some time to assess the scene. Mungus with the 15. You do find something peculiar. It looks like whoever took him didn't actually drag him off. It looks like he was dragged to the side and then the tracks just vanish.
Teleport.
Which unfortunately you're not sure what to do with that information, because you're not good at following trails when people don't actually, move.
Leave them, right? Because like, if what Mungus would think is like, okay, this is where the flood or whatever ends, and then it doesn't move forward. So he would have thought they picked him up, but then there's nothing to follow after that. So
Yeah,
I look back and go,
it looks
no,
like
it's gone.
it looks like one person took him and dragged him off to the side of the alley, and then the tracks just vanished there. Give me maybe insight.
Would any of us be able to do this as well, or just him?
Is he telling the whole group this?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say, yeah, you can all do insight if you want.
13.
Definitely do one.
I'm actually really kind of like I'm big, but I'm not dumb.
27.
I'm not that smart, but I'm
We
not.
I rolled a 19.
All of us.
Or actually, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be insight. It would just be an intelligence check, because this is more intelligence than wisdom. Insight's more when you're dealing with people.
There we go. I am dumb.
Yeah, intelligence
You
or
doing one, Elbow?
investigation.
If
What
you want
is
me,
it?
like, my investigation's pretty good, so I can do that.
Why is Eldwin not investigating?
I think because he was ritually casting.
Yeah,
so
'cause I was
don't know if-
ritually
Oh,
casting.
right. You're still on the spell. All right, so you finish your spell. You were casting detect magic. There's no magic here, just an hour.
Alright. It was like, I had to check. It's like, okay, then I'll start actually investigating.
We can't find anything,
so-
Elduin. Oh, master of looking.
With the information that was gained from Mungus's survival, you would have advantage on your investigation.
Don't need
Oh
it.
God!
All right. So you kind of look at the spot where he was dragged to, kind of assessing the area around you. You don't think
You're
he was.
welcome.
You don't think he was teleported. Looking up, you think he was dragged somehow up the side of this building, which is a little bit odd. Because that would
we-
require a lot of strength, and also like, you're not sure how someone would climb while dragging someone. Though, give me a religion check.
Can I also do one of these?
Yes, if he's telling everyone this.
I would be.
Okay. You know there are certain undead creatures that can spider climb. That's the only way you could think of that someone would just be dragged up the side of a
How
building.
tall is the building?
This house isn't too tall. It's like 20 feet.
Does Eldwin share that he thinks that the man was drug up the side of the building?
I think he said, yeah, that's why we
Yeah.
got to do religion checks.
Alright. Nasira will start climbing the side of the building.
Alright, so Nasira parkours up the building at the top.
She doesn't even parkour. She just basically
Run straight up, eh?
walks along, like walks vertical
Just
circles.
runs.
Oh, does she
Like
have
full-
spider climb?
No, it's not spider climb.
Unarmored
It's,
movement.
yeah, the 9th level one.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
I was picturing that as parkouring, but
Oh, okay. It
I
just
guess,
says you can move along the vertical surface. Yeah.
It's so much more fun to just imagine her just like the flashing, just running up the wall.
yeah, well, yeah, it's parkouring up the side. I don't
Like
know. Well,
parkouring, like you,
you
jump
have
back and forth
to.
between surfaces. Yeah.
Don't you have to finish that movement on a surface? Is that how that works?
Yes.
It doesn't. It doesn't
Each-
say.
Without
that
So
I
the
am.
way it,
during
it
the
do-
move.
without
Yeah. So you have to end the move without still being on the surface. If that
how
makes
tall's
sense.
the building again?
Oh, it's 20 feet. You could do it easily.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, I could go up and back down, and and still have movement left.
All right.
Want to
so
see me go to that rock and back again?
you
Want to see me do it again?
you rush up the side of this building, getting to the roof. You would see some signs of something up here. Give me another investigation.
Can I take time at this to improve my odds, or?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
It would just be your passive if you take time.
Just run down and get guidance, and then run back up.
Oh well, in that case, I mean, I think
I'm just seeing
I always
if
get my
you.
characters. Yeah, I'll guide myself.
All right, we'll see if you see anything initially when you look around.
Oh my lord.
Oh god.
And then
Yeah,
the
no,
D4.
it's
so I don't know. Yeah.
3. Yeah, you see a couple of broken roof tiles, but not much other than that. What do you want to do?
I will take one of the broken bits and go back down to the party. I'll give it to Eldwin.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can make anything of this, but
It's just a broken roof tile.
okay.
So,
I don't know if there was any
yeah.
insight he might have looking at it with his intelligence.
Not too much from just looking at the tile, though if he investigated the area up there, he might get something else.
How much do you weigh? Leave your pack down here.
It's like, oh, about the pack, he's basically a twig, so like, I don't know, 110, 120.
All right, I'll leave my pack, and he leaves his pack, and I'll take him up to the building.
Just run him.
Like
He just
piggyback
goes on
ride.
your shoulders. All right. So you quickly rush up the side of the building with him on your back. Although, well, I mean, even if you were encumbered, you'd still have enough movement
Yeah,
to make
I
it.
would never do this like in a combat situation, but
Oh no.
Yeah, because what's your movement?
45.
Yeah, so even halved, or even with 10 feet less, you could get him up there. So yeah, you come up to the roof as well now, looking around. Give me, I guess, an investigation.
Yeah.
I guess Doodles would have been easier to carry up, but I guess we're not real clear on what all his skills are yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what he can do yet.
Doodles has just been quietly observing.
I've been drinking too much in my life. I'm not the smartest.
Okay.
So
He's that old bloke that you always see sitting in the same spot at the bar that can barely say sentences anymore.
So looking around,
Oddly
up here,
specific.
There's a lot of them in Australia.
you'd find a couple of things.
Nice.
You see, looks like a bit of like hair stuck in some of the tiles on the roof. Maybe as whoever was climbing up, their hair got stuck. Examining it closer, you see it is red. You also see a piece of brown fabric that got stuck on one of the nails in the roof. So whoever climbed up here may have ripped their shirt or pants as they were doing it. But other than that, there's not much going on up here.
No, we can't, Mungus.
Yeah, I haven't heard you for a bit.
Yeah, I don't hear Mungus. So what do you want to do?
Did Nancy have red hair?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep. Look in there.
Okay, cool. Hey, does it look like I could throw Doodles up there?
Probably not. I mean, he's probably
It's
a
20 feet.
couple.
Why would
2 feet tall.
It's also 20 foot high, so you're throwing him against gravity.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of gear on him, I think, so he's not. He's not.
Doodles, you want to get up there, or do you want to stay here with us?
He said he's AFK.
Yeah, he had to step away.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, he said he'd be right back.
I'll go back to being quiet now.
Can I do after Eldwin finds the hair and the cloth? Is there any additional like survival check that I could make to see if we can see where the path continues somehow?
So yeah, if you want, you could do a survival look around up here.
Much better at survival than this investigation stuff.
That ain't bad.
So it seems like the person was moved across the roof a bit, and kind of going over to where the trail leads. You would come to the edge of the roof on the other side of the house, and it looks like they may have dropped down from here.
Did Onvir describe the missing man? Like, would I expect that a woman like Nancy could carry him?
No, Nancy wasn't that big. She wasn't tiny, but like, you have no idea how she would have just drug him up the side of the house.
Okay.
That seems very odd to you.
I'll point out to Eldwin what my survival showed me, so that he can see if there's anything else he sees, I guess. Should we try to follow it down the side of the building, do you think, Eldwin?
I think that's our best bet from here.
So then, yeah, I'll carry Eldwin down the side of the other side where it looks like they dropped down.
Oh, one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You would notice while you were on the roof that there is a fairly large pool of blood on some of the tiles. Or not a pool, but a big blood stain on some of the tiles.
Oof.
Yeah, you would notice up here. So that doesn't bode well.
I actually have medicine. Is there anything I could learn from the blood?
Yeah, give me a medicine check. So, if someone lost this amount of blood, they would be in danger of dying for sure. If they didn't get some sort of healing or treatment.
I would share that with Eldwin, and then we'd go down the other side, I guess. See if we see anything more down in the next alley.
So, in the next alley, on this side of the house, the trail leads over to kind of like a garbage area, where you would find a body within the garbage can.
Ooh.
So right now it's just you and Eldwin here.
Yeah. Eldwin, do you have your...
I left my pack, so...
yeah.
my familiar? Yeah.
Maybe can he bring Onvir? Maybe just Onvir for now, just because Onvir would recognize whether or not. I don't know. We can bring the whole group up.
Yeah. So I guess I will. I've had her hidden away, so I would re-summon
walk around
Lara.
the house, right? They don't have to come over it the way we did.
Oh no, they can just walk around to this alley.
Okay.
I'll have Lara reappear and kind of just perch on, fly over and just perch on Onvir.
What the hell?
I reach up and I start swatting at a bird. What? It's a bird, right?
You've seen Lara.
He scouts first sometimes, or she.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
I don't think I've ever met this thing. So
Oh.
I don't think you have either. You don't use
meanwhile-
it very often.
Because I got it because I got it before I started using Lareth right before he left to find
Alright, so the
Alan.
owl hoots angrily and starts pecking at you as you swat at it. Stupid bird. You probably have not seen an owl before this, as they don't usually exist in the deep.
What was his name again? Lareth?
Yeah, Lareth.
Hello,
you
Lara.
probably have seen smaller birds as they were brought down during the cataclysm. Lareth kind of hoots at you and flies around in circles as if he, I'll say with your passive insight, it looks like he might want you to follow.
Yep, I
Mean-
start following the
Meanwhile,
bird.
I'll do another medicine on this body.
Alright, so... Give me
Mungus
a...
looks at Ongar. You talk to owls?
No, I just know that it wants me to follow it. I'm just good at reading intention.
Yeah, sure. Give me a medicine check if you're examining the body.
Oh, it's dead.
So, yeah, you think the body was drained of quite a bit of blood. You don't know, you don't know
Any
exactly
wounds?
how. Although with a 17 perception, I'll say that a moment later, as you're examining the corpse, you notice that there are 2 puncture marks on its neck.
I had a
Oh,
feeling.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Especially once
give me a
I get
religion
around
check.
there. Am I here yet?
From Nasira? Or
Well, yeah, because you're examining the body here.
okay, yeah. She does not have religion training.
Either of you who are there could give me a check.
Yeah.
Have
Oh,
I
I can
arrived yet? Or am I still coming?
It's just the 2 of them right now. But you think that this could be something known as a vampire, Nasira. You don't know
Okay.
much about undead, but there are stories of certain powerful undead that drain blood, known as vampires.
When Onvir arrives, I will point out the puncture wounds and if he knows anything more than me, because I think he has more of that type of training.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Alright,
Doodles
so-
with us?
Was I? Oh, how do I get up there?
No, they
Oh.
with the bird, the familiar came and got you, and you guys are all walking around the.
Yeah, so at this
Yeah.
point, you guys come walking up, seeing this
Great.
body in the dumpster, and Zucka
I
says,
recognize
"No,
it."
brother," and he runs up and
Yeah.
grabs him. It's like, "No, damn it! I told you to pay those people." Ah, no, and he's all distraught, pulling
That's why
his
I
brother
initially
out
was
of
going to
the,
bring
the
just
trash.
Onvir to confirm whether or not this was the guy, but.
So yeah, he pulls his brother out of the trash. He's sort of like sitting over the body, weeping a little. What do you all want to do?
Do I see
Did
the
you want
bites?
to take a look, Onvir? Yeah.
I'll begin playing a sad song.
I'll say, yeah, sure, Nasira, you
A little
can
dirge.
point out the bite wounds.
Okay.
Which, yeah, Anvir, you would guess is probably vampires.
Oh, that was a terrible roll on my part.
You wouldn't have to roll with the religion
good.
training. You wouldn't know much about the vampires, but you would know this is most likely something to do with vampires. And the
Oh.
man would say, do you say this out loud, or are you kind of whispering it to the group?
I might say this out loud, honestly.
So Zucka kind of looks at you through his tears. He says, vampires.
It might not have been the debt that killed him, unless they are employing vampires at whoever he had debt with.
He says, well, there have been people found this way in the streets before. This isn't, unfortunately, this isn't uncommon. But I don't know. I had assumed it was the debt collectors. I mean, why? I don't know. He says, well, I appreciate all of you helping me with this. At least I know what happened now, and I can lay my brother to rest. And he says, I'll see if I can get you some sort of payment for the work you did. Thank you. And he's probably gonna grab his brother's body and take off unless anyone says anything.
I wouldn't stop him.
All right.
And I assume you guys all brought the packs so that Eldwin and I.
Yeah, I would have. I imagine someone would have grabbed.
I didn't think to ask, but I figured you would have.
All right. So yeah, he leaves with his brother's body. What do you all want to do?
Head to the brothel.
Do we
Bravo.
want to go as a full party? It might. I don't know.
Doodles, you want to go to a brothel?
Suspicious. Are there any preventative measures that we could take with this type of creature?
How much do any of us know about vampires?
Right.
I
there a
think we
library?
could prevent more damage by killing it.
That tends to work for most things.
Well, that is a good question though. Like, how much of us?
How long
much
have
do
you
we
been
know
in the
about
city, Doodles?
6 months, 3 months, 3 months. Let's go with 3 months.
All right. So there are rumors that there are vampires who live within the city. You don't know much about them, but people have had loved ones go missing, and bodies have been found in this exact state with puncture marks. So they've definitely existed here for a while, probably before your time.
I will pass that along.
Hmm.
All right. So what do you want to do?
How can we learn more of these creatures? Would this be something we could find in a library, or thoughts on where we might get such information?
What about a church? Library would probably also have it. I imagine.
Church may even have a library. Yeah.
Yeah, a church people might be easy to talk to with respect to this.
Where are the major churches in this city?
That's a good question. I'm not much of a holy man myself.
So
We're in a port. We're in a mercenary like haven. Like this is not the places. The churches here we don't want to go to.
Families and
Hey,
common folk
some
here. So there's
mercenaries
probably
quite religious.
places of worship. Yeah, there's probably places of worship because there's families
Okay.
and commoners.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So-
Sure.
there are shrines around. You don't think there's actually a big holy presence here. I'll say you would know, Doodles, because being here a while, he probably would have at least looked into the city a bit. And like I said, there's kind of a shrine. There's different shrine areas around, but there's no big holy presence,
Okay.
which might be kind
That
of
makes sense.
weird to
Yeah.
you.
Is there a library?
The nobles have libraries, but other than that, no.
No public
Are we
place.
supposed to get an
so-
audience with a sister or something?
We're waiting for Voli to come back and
Oh,
let us know
okay.
if he managed to arrange us an audience with his sister.
Yeah,
That's
and
even
Matt,
if he
Matt,
can
we
get
have
that.
an NPC. We have an NPC, Matt, whose sister is
Cool.
one of the noble houses.
Nice.
So we don't entirely trust him. He's a slippery guy, but
Not
he
at all.
seems to find us interesting and
Doodles,
Hey, we got in
if
here
he's
without
been
a
living
fight.
here for several months, might know the captain.
that's true.
Would he, Lou?
who?
The captain?
Would-
Would he know? Would Doodles know?
Oh, Doodles. So you probably would have seen him and his men in the bar a couple of times. Usually good-humored people, fairly well behaved. Yeah,
Cool.
you don't know him well, but yeah, you've definitely served his people drinks before.
He
Do
introduces
you
himself
have
to people as the captain? Yeah.
Do you have history?
I have Jack of all trades.
All right, you can make a history check.
Hey,
At the
good old
bar.
jack of all.
Local history.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, no, you don't know much about Voli, or the captain, as people call him.
Cool. Yep. Nope. Don't know the captain. He doesn't come by the bar too much. Just see him in passing.
I think he was saying you do see him quite a bit. You just don't know much about him personally.
Yeah. He just sits at the bar, eats food, tips well. They don't cause a ruckus. Bring in good
Yes.
groups.
So, well, we could return to the inn and wait for Captain, or we could explore the city some more, look for clues, information, contacts. Mungus and Nasira, it looks like, have been considering going back to Brothel with some or all of the group. I don't know that anyone should be alone, considering what we've learned, but I don't
was
know
gonna-
if traipsing up with the whole group is necessarily good either.
I was gonna say, if you can wait till tomorrow to go to the brothel, I can confirm if she's undead.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can prepare and spell that would let
We
me
could
tell.
also arrange for the group to be nearby. If any of us, if we split in any way, we could always like arrange for the rest of the group to be nearby. And we've got Nasira's snakes and Eldwin's owl who can be signals.
Yeah.
Um,
Plus, I can just set up
might also-
a bond.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even better.
Someone was gonna say something and I don't
Mungus,
know
I
who.
think.
Mungus or Matt?
I think Matt.
I might be able to have some magic to help us with this. If we step aside and
With what in particular, sorry?
I mean, if we're planning on splitting up, we could still talk to each other. But we just have to meet up at quite regularly.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, we've used this. Eldwin is
Good
able to
spell.
do the same. Yeah.
Oh,
Very
great.
Eldwin can just like not prepare it now.
right.
He's up, he's prepared.
Or you guys could just like talk to each other about it whenever you guys are changing
Well,
spells.
Bards can only do it on levels.
Mm,
Alright, so
I forgot that.
what do you all want to do?
Is it probably getting into the evening now? Because it was like 3 when we started, right?
It's probably like 3:40 right now.
Oh, all that took 40 minutes. Okay,
Yeah,
It's
you just
not
walk
that far
down the
away
street.
from the bar.
gotcha. Oh, I just meant all the investigating and climbing the roofs and examining bodies and blood
Finding dead
spots
bodies,
and stuff.
hiding dead bodies.
Yeah.
We're efficient. We're the Grey Waters. We're efficient.
All right. So, does it make more sense? Well, does anyone else have any errands or investigations or ideas on what to follow next, or do we want to go the brothel route?
Like I said, if you're willing to wait till tomorrow for the brothel route, I can definitely confirm if she is an undead. But that completely depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. I actually.
Let's go back to the inn and rest, and then go to the brothel in the morning and make sure that we don't get followed by some vampires on the way.
Yeah, I can actually potentially. I don't know if I can confirm that she's undead, but I would be able to detect
I mean-
things that are evil.
Yeah,
My
that's
friends
what I
were-
was thinking of. Good and evil does.
Oh, I thought you were
detect
gonna
undead.
try turn undead or something.
Oh, no,
what
I
are
can
we
just
trying
do
to
that.
do?
Don't you have is it just the paladins that have divine sense, or am I
That's
forgetting?
That's
about
paladins.
So
Okay,
you
yeah,
all
yeah.
return to Finnegan's Flint, and you're just gonna spend the day there.
Yeah.
I think we were discussing whether or not we want to just. Do you have prepare good and evil? Do you?
I do.
Okay, well that counters the reason I was wanting to wait till tomorrow. Because that's what I was gonna. I was just gonna want to prepare that. But if you just have it prepared at the moment, then we could just go. and use
Alright.
that.
We're in Finnegan's Flint now.
Yeah, back at your bar. You've already
I
given
would,
your
ask-
notice and ended your time there.
Contract there. I would
This is
ask
my now
everybody,
notice spy.
what are we trying to do? I don't know much about this group. I mean, are we just trying to solve this murder?
So,
Well, we have other business in town, but this is an interesting deviation that we have encountered.
I'll tell you everything, but once I tell you everything, if you try and leave the group, I will have to kill you.
I am kidding.
I was gonna say, I'd like to see you try. Many have.
He immediately goes, I am
Cheating.
kidding, do not worry. Okay.
Hey, would
let's
I
do this
would I
in
be
our
able to like
suite.
pull out the tablet
not-
and say, hey, can you
I
read this?
imagine we're in the suite, or that,
Yeah,
or we're
we're
using
not in the common
telepathic
room yet.
bond if he's casted that.
Pull out the tablet.
Yeah, would I? Hey, Doodles, what does this look like to you?
So
Ooh.
Mungus pulls out a strange-looking stone tablet with a bunch of markings on it. What
Probably about the
languages-
same size as Doodles.
Yeah, no, it's pretty big. What languages do you speak? Although, actually, no. It would be an Arcana check.
Oh, I think I got that.
Well, you got
Maybe.
Jack of all trades either way.
Yeah.
Now, do you have one in tablet, or do you have? I think you have 2 tablets now, right?
Yeah, we have the normal
yeah.
one and the
We have
void
the
one.
one that
Mungus
I had,
the
and
one we
then-
took from
All
the
right.
dude.
Ellis.
So,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
tablet looks really old. The markings on it don't look like a language to you, but some sort of arcane runes. Just by looking at it, you wouldn't know what it does.
It's some sort of magic.
Oh, well, I
But,
imagine we would tell you more about it. We wouldn't just like, right?
What are you
guys aren't
telling
I
him
was
about
just,
it?
it's,
Yeah, I think we're gonna start
Oh, if-
telling him everything.
Yeah, if Andre's telling
but-
him the whole story, yeah.
So,
How much of like the journal stuff have you read, so I know how much I actually have to tell you?
I kind of gave him a summary yesterday, but I'm sure it was like lore dump. So
I had this.
well,
I had this in my possession when they found me, and nobody can read it
no,
or
you told me
decipher
you
it.
didn't want
Okay.
the lore dump, so we didn't tell you like hardly anything. I mean, you've gotten stuff along the way, but we didn't tell you hardly anything. When you
here's
started.
a quick summary of what Onvia would tell you. You know how before the game started, I was kind of telling you about the 3 girls.
Yeah.
One of those 3 girls, the one that your old character died protecting, we have discovered is in this town.
Okay.
And we are trying to get her from the Steel Shadow, but we need access into the north.
And
area
the ley
from
line,
that
the ley
going
line
there.
magic that those girls can read, that magic is in these tablets.
Yes, those tablets are connected to the ley line energy that they can see. And there is a family from the Empire, right?
Foxheart, yeah.
Yeah,
Lockharts,
the Foxheart. The Lockharts or the
Or
Foxhearts? I
Foxhearts.
thought yeah. Sorry, yeah, the Foxhearts who used to more or less own these girls, they all run away and they're trying to get possession of them again. They're
Okay.
using the Steel Shadow for that.
I don't think you know much about these tablets to even tell Doodles. I think
Well, I mean,
they're
I
kind
just
of
mean
a
like what we
mystery
just
to you
relayed.
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
We
So-
know we don't know
No,
much. We know they're
we
connected
know
to the
one
ley
was
line
being
energy, and
used
that's about it.
in that ritual that we stopped, and we
Yes.
know that they have something. The Yanti lady told us that they were related, didn't she? Or no, I can't remember.
I don't
think
know if she
so.
saw them.
Or no, I think it was just Mirren. Mirren saw the magic in the tablets. or
Yeah,
something like that.
one of the
Yeah, okay.
I think it was Marin who said that these tablets seem to have something to do with the ley line energies.
I will say, I am pretty sure we did show the snake spirit person, and they did confirm there was ley line energy, and that's why we decided to show it to Mirren,
I
because she was outside at the
Mungus,
time. Dosha.
Mungus, were you with us when we met the ancient Yanti?
No, that
Guardian.
was
No,
just
no,
before we met
So then
him.
we
That was
didn't have a
just up
tablet
before.
yet. Then
Yeah,
We didn't
no,
have a
you- that's
tablet
true.
when
you
we-
never
Yeah.
showed it to the Yanti.
I think we
Guardian.
What were we
just had
thinking of
Mirren.
then?
We had Mirren meet the Yanti, and then Mirren also identified that the magic in the tablets reminded her of the ley line magic. I think that's where we got it from.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So should I
Yeah.
just pass time, or does the group want to do something?
I think we were discussing whether or not we want to go to the brothel.
Yeah, if we go to the brothel, I would say it'd probably be better for maybe 2 or 3 of us to go, but maybe the others could go to the market or be somewhere semi nearby.
Could just be chilling out front kind of thing.
All right.
Overwatch. We call that Overwatch in military terms. They're in the crowd around the brothel, like laying low and
Sitting at a
keeping eyes
cafe
on.
or browsing
Yeah.
at a shop stall or
Mungus
Puffing
talks
on a pipe
about
on a
some
park
of his
bench.
old war stories and how he was tactical with his people, keeping an eye on things.
But yeah, Nasira, if you're saying you have to take good and evil, that was the only thing I was going to hold off on. But if you have it, then
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah. If you guys are down, let's give it a try. I'm a little more nervous now that I know that there's these creatures that you call vampires in this city. I mean, I guess Nasira had heard of vampires too. I think her role was high enough, but she doesn't know that much about them.
I think Mungus wanted to know if I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Does his brass knuckles have any special kind of attack on vampires or undead?
It would just be a normal weapon
they're,
attack, I would assume.
I mean, they're just piercing weapons. They wouldn't have any special properties for slaying undead.
Silver doesn't have like a advantage or an extra
That's
damage?
for werewolves and
werewolf.
stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to know
That's
that
all good,
about
man.
That's fine.
All right.
what we're about to get into.
Like,
How big would you say the brothel building itself is, from your visit yesterday or earlier today? I know that you have to ask Lou, but Nasira would be asking Mungus and company. Already.
So the brothel was, I mean, it wasn't huge, but it was a larger building. Had a bunch of private rooms, probably 3 floors, almost like an inn.
So yeah, it wouldn't be something that like I
comparable
could easily
to the,
be within 30
Finnegan's
feet of.
Flint.
Yeah. Okay.
It does
I've been
last
to-
a while.
I've been to good ones, I've been to bad ones. This is one of the good ones.
Okay.
well, it can't be that great. It's apparently got a vampire in it.
At least a vampire,
Yeah.
potentially.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Well-
there's multiple rooms, there's a common area. Most places are not that fancy where I'm from.
Yeah. All right. Well.
I think we should definitely look after these vampires because if vampire
I think...
like these
Go ahead, sorry.
vampires are terrifying all the people here, then we might be able to get some rapport by dealing with the problem. And if our
True.
captain friend can't follow through, maybe we'll be able to get into the upper district through our own merits.
Yeah. Well, let's at least see what we can find out.
Let's get moving.
My plan is actually not to interrogate, but more try to make a connection, like get
Skim the
someone-
waters.
Like like make a friend. Like I'm going to. I intend to play as though I am interested and attracted to her, and go from there. You know,
You gonna lead her on?
maybe have a little bit of fun. Meanwhile.
Why not?
I think we're going to the brothel then.
Yeah. So who wants to go into the brothel?
Follow
Who wants to hang
me!
out outside? Yeah, he's like, follow me. I want to go see my orc lady.
Rosie's probably there now.
Get pegged again.
Oh my. All right. Well,
I just want to say, if I roll high enough on that performance, I think Rosie could be an added value to our campaign.
I'm sure
So-
we can gain another
Yeah.
follower.
Before we actually enter the inn, well, I mean, I guess we have to go there now, but like go there first. But before we actually enter the brothel, I would just debating whether I should try and cast the detective on good while I'm still outside, just to see if anything pings.
It lasts 10 minutes, and I don't know if it detects things through full cover. You might need to read that.
Oh yeah,
not
let's see what
sure.
it says. I haven't used it in a long time.
Within 30 feet.
Alright.
Yeah, most barriers blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of metal 3 feet of wood and dirt.
Give me
Okay.
1 moment. As
Okay,
you
so yeah, I'll have
are
to.
making your way through the streets to the brothel.
Okay.
I'm concerned now that he said that because I've just looked at the
Right.
market and there's just a big black square where there didn't used to be one.
In the market?
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's like we never went to the market. It's just got there's like a square of just pitch black where it was uncovered.
I don't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah,
Try
so like
maybe refresh.
Well, I mean, I'll uncover it as soon as you go there again, but yeah.
yeah,
no,
that's weird.
I didn't
I
change
thought
anything
maybe-
in that.
The second you said that, I figured maybe something on the map had changed because it had all blocked out. I'll try refreshing and seeing if it's like
I'm
this.
just curious how everything would have gone if one of us ended up alone with Nancy.
Jesus.
Right?
Yeah, for some
That would've
reason,
been
like
fun.
all of this area, like here, is completely just like a black square for me now again.
It's weird.
That's weird.
And it's like really abrupt too. Like it is just a square.
Hey, can I ask Doodles about the Thieves Guild or the Rogues Guild? He's been there for 3 months. Do you think he might know something about the underground here in Raven's Pass?
We are underground, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The underground.
Ah, the underground of the underground.
The Underdark.
You say.
But yes, you are all underground.
I mean, you say we're hunting the Steel Shadow, right?
Sort of. We're just more morally aligned. Disaligned.
Ah,
They work for the people who we don't like, who are doing
ah,
to do things that are against what we want to do. We've had a couple
like
of talks with the Steel Shadow, but most of them end with blood.
yeah. Oh.
Except for that literally one time.
I'm sure I can
Well,
share
those
more.
people were willing to talk. The other people weren't.
Exactly.
So they got to live.
All you have to do is talk to us.
Right?
Why won't you be our friends?
And then you
Also, I
live.
feel like during our conversation of this, I would be telling Doodles, there's this whole thing I do where 30 feet around me becomes like, you don't know what stars are. It's fine. Motes of light swarm around me. The area becomes dark, slightly dim lit. Stay in that area. It'll help you.
I will
Basically-
do my best.
Yeah, basically in RP terms, he's telling you about his Twilight Sanctuary, where if you end your turn in it, I can either give you temporary hit points or end a frightened or charmed condition if you have it.
I look at him, go, I fit in that.
Same as it's the same as Riala's fireflies.
Except, yeah.
Except
I
this
heard
is like purple nebulas and stuff.
Mine's like,
A little bit different, not quite.
your character has no idea about this, but it's literally like a sunset expands out from him with like the like lights of those first stars
starting.
appearing. I like to imagine what
Oh, that's
happens is
cool.
literally one of those stars every now and then just kind of blows into you and you feel warm.
So-
Yeah, does your character have I don't know. Would Doodles know about Hildar, Lou?
I mean, he is jack of all trades, so he could always make a religion check.
It's a fairly obscure religion. Let's see what you get.
14, he may have heard of it. Probably doesn't know much about
Yeah.
it, though. Alright. Sorry about that. So you make your way through the town, going over, or back over, to the brothel area. Across the huge bridge, and yeah, into Pit Market. Heading down
before-
to the brothel. Yeah.
Before anyone would head into the brothel, Eldon would just have everyone like take a minute, and then he'd start ritually casting telepathic bond.
Cool.
Are we being subtle about this? Like,
Oh yeah.
or just casting in the middle of the street?
In general, people don't just cast magic in the middle of the street, so I assume you're being kind of stealthy.
On the way there, yeah, on the way there, we establish it.
Cool.
Alright, so you kind of go off into a more quiet area of the cave and cast some spells. Are you doing this as a ritual?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be 10 minutes. What about Detect Good and Evil?
I'm not going to do it. It doesn't go through walls very well, so I'm going to have to just look for an opportunity to do it once I'm inside.
Alright. So you get your spell up, and then are you all heading into the brothel?
I think we're breaking up.
Alright, who's going
I
in
have
and who's staying
friends in the
out?
brothel. I know all the ladies there.
So
Not from
Doodles and
experience,
Mungus
but
and Nasira. I mean, you guys, if other people want to come, I'm not going to tell you not to. I just wasn't sure if in character if it'd be a suspiciously large group, but
Well, I think
up
you
to you
said
guys.
some people are going to stay outside and keep an eye on things, right?
Well, that's why we did the telepathic bond, so we could get screamed at and run
And
inside if she went down.
is there a limit to the distance on that?
No, I don't think
Nope.
so.
Nice, very nice. Okay, let's go.
Alright, so the woman in the or the woman at the door, or go ahead, what are you saying?
Just again, for notes, who's going in?
Mungus.
Nasira.
Mungus is
Doodles.
looking for his lady friend in there.
So Mungus and Nasira.
Rosie.
and Doodles.
I know he
Okay.
does not want to enter a place of such ill repute.
Alright, so
In
Doodles
that
is all
case,
about it.
I guess, Doodles, I'll just bring out Lareth and it's like, so do you want to have a pet owl for a bit?
Ah, I haven't seen one of these in years. Actually,
seen one of these
probably
before?
I haven't seen one of these ever. So yeah, sure.
if you knew wizards, you may have known people who had owl familiars. But otherwise, yeah, you probably haven't seen one.
I mean, hell, even some bards might have it with magical secrets and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, sure. What is this owl's name? What does he like to eat?
Her name is Lareth, and don't worry about the eating part. She's technically a fey creature, so it's a little
I was
weird.
actually just about to ask, what are they technically? Fey, celestial, and birds?
So the owl proudly hoots at you as you announce her heritage. She does look a bit exotic for a normal owl, at least from your knowledge of owls from your jack of all trades.
It's a unique cooter you got there.
God damn it.
Alright, so going into the brothel,
How do you spell Lara?
there is a woman at the door who would greet you all and say, so you have the owl on your shoulder?
Yeah.
She says, Doodles, you know there's no animals allowed in here. Sorry. You're gonna have to leave your...
Even for me.
She says, yeah, that's the rules. No animals.
I'm just saying hi to my friends. I'm not paying for anything.
Give me a persuasion.
That's a way to endear them to you. I'm not buying anything here.
I'm getting something free.
So she kind of gives you a look as you say that and says, this isn't a
He's on
hangout.
me.
I mean, people come
He's
in
on
here.
me.
Lord, a plus 13.
So you say he's on me. She looks to you and says, are you paying for him?
How
Whatever
many
this
times
guy
have I
wants.
served you all food? Brought you drinks. You know me. I just need to check in on, Cinnamon and Lollipop and all the others.
Give me another persuasion check.
Cinnamon. And Crystal.
It's all right, but if that bird shits on the floor, you're gonna hear hell from a bunch of us.
I'll
What
clean
extreme
it up
to the
before
other?
it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. People were talking. What did you say?
I'll clean it up before it hits the ground. You know.
All right, you better. She says. Anyway, all right. I guess the three of you can come in. Mungus, I assume you're looking for Rosie again.
I'll take a look around the room and see if I see her at the bar.
'Cause I
Big boy
think,
has his preferences.
I think she's not working right now, so I mean she is working, but she's not with a client, I should say. So you probably will be able to
Okay.
find her. So yeah, she kind of ushers the three of you into the main area, where you're greeted by an assortment of perfume and other such aromas. A bunch of ladies in the area, along with some gentlemen callers. What are you all gonna do?
I will scan the room for any people.
What?
You went full Muppet for a second.
That was like
Yeah.
That was weird.
I'll scan the room for any familiar faces.
So looking around, you see a bunch of ladies in here, but no one familiar. However, you would see Rosie Mungus sitting at the bar drinking. But yeah, there's you don't see Nancy anywhere.
Okay. Are there any other redheads?
Oh yeah, there's definitely
Oh,
red-headed ladies here.
I was gonna say that was my preference and ask, but I guess that's not gonna work if I see other redheads. Okay.
Yeah, no, there are a
Um,
couple. Mostly brown-haired, some redheads. Humans, probably some dwarves, maybe a half-elf, you're not sure. Looks kind of elven. But yeah, there's quite the variety of different ladies in here.
How big is this place?
It's comparable to Finnegan's Flint. Maybe a little smaller, but not by much.
So would
said
like
3
100
stories,
feet,
right?
like
Yeah, 3 stories. First floor looks like it's mostly kind of like a bar, and like there's a desk where you can talk to the probably talk to someone who could set you up with an escort. There's a couple of other doors in here that you're not sure where they go. There's like a stairwell going up. There's a fire burning in the fireplace. There's a bar, a bunch of tables. And right now there is
there-
a bard, lady bard, playing some very sultry tunes on her lyre.
Is there like tables and sofas and stuff where people are kind of socializing or gambling or lounging, like that aren't like off doing other business in other rooms, so to speak?
Yeah, there's kind of like
Okay.
a relaxation area where people are drinking and laughing and talking
So then
to
I guess I'll
people.
try to kind of join in the frivolities a little bit, just kind of to socialize. Because my plan is kind of foiled since I don't see Scarlet or Nancy. So
So
I
as
guess I'll
you're,
just-
or go ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. No, sorry.
Well, as you're walking in, the front desk lady says, "Oh, excuse me, you three. I just need to collect the door fee from you. That will be 20 gold pieces each, please."
Naciera will
Dorothy.
pay it. Naciera will pay it for all 3.
All right, so
You know me.
She says, "Yeah, I do know you, Doodles, and I think you snuck in here last time without paying. Remember, you're going to use the bathroom and then you never came back?"
No, I just went out the back door.
Yeah, exactly. Well, luckily your friend here seems to have paid your way, so she takes the
Naciera
60
acts
gold.
like it's just like she acts like it's a pittance. Like it doesn't bother her at all. Like she just kind of plops the money down.
Give me
Everything I do for you.
Give me a deception check on that. Let's see.
Oh.
Omnia
Is
sitting
that
out front
deceptive?
playing with
Okay.
the
Well,
sticks.
I
calling
assume
out
you're-
his
used
name.
You're trying. Oh yeah, I guess you do have. Do you have a
Find
noble
comfort.
background?
Yeah. Not exactly, but I lived very, very comfortably with art and culture and stuff like that.
All right. In that case, give me
Technically, I'm an
either
orphan, but I had
probably
very happy circumstances.
yeah.
Batman.
Give me a performance or persuasion.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'll do persuasion.
See if I can find good music.
Nice. Now I won't roll well later when it really matters.
So she smiles and says, "I don't think I've seen you before here before, Miss."
I just arrived in this quaint town yesterday.
Oh, well, welcome. what's your name? I see you know Mungus here. He made quite the impression yesterday.
Yes, he is something of a hired brute for my traveling companions. Safety on
Oh.
the road, you know.
Ah, all right. Well, it's good to know what your stories are. And apparently you know Doodles here, and she gives him kind of a look.
A recent
I
acquaintance.
swear I've never
I believe
been
there
here
is a recent acquaintance. We have a deal regarding some fine culinary skills.
Yeah, you tell these how good I am at cooking.
Well, we have yet
All
to
your ladies like
discern
my
whether
food.
your claims are valid.
She says, you cook very well, Doodles, but that doesn't mean you cannot pay the door fees. I mean, we appreciate your food, but I mean, not 20 gold pieces, free entry, appreciate it. I mean, you know, if it was up to me, I'd just let you in, but the owner would not be happy to see a discrepancy in the books.
You with your uncivilized palates.
And as you are all talking, you would notice Nancy coming down the stairs. She kind of walks with a bit of a sultry walk over to the bar, sitting down, and she starts talking
LJ.
to the bartender there. You don't think she noticed you? Or at least if she did, she didn't make any type of, like, look over at you all.
Gotcha.
Hey, LJ.
The gang's all here now.
Yeah. So
We're
I
at the
would not like beeline
three
towards
of you
her or
went.
anything like that, but I would wrap up the conversation with the hostess, you know, and since she went to the bar, I think it makes sense that we're all going to go get a drink, right?
All right. So you finish up with the hostess, who just says, "Well, enjoy yourselves. Go get a drink, talk to some of the ladies, and hopefully you'll find a companion for the evening." And she smiles.
Okay. So then, yeah, I'll unhurriedly, you know, kind of walk through the room, kind of taking in the surroundings like someone who's, you know, here to enjoy themselves. And but yeah, I would make my way over to the bar to order a drink, and I won't like initially look at Scarlet. I'll just like walk up to the bar like I'm focused on the bartender.
Okay. Are you gonna sit next to wait, Scarlet?
I'm sorry, I keep saying that because she's a redhead.
Nancy.
Oh,
Nancy.
okay. So, wait,
I've
who's
never
Scarlet?
known a non-brunette Nancy.
Fair enough. All right, so yeah, you maybe take do you want to take a seat like next to her, or like a few chairs down, or?
I think more like I just like walked up to the bar in order to get the bartender's attention and get a drink. I hadn't actually like planned to sit.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
Sure. So the bartender would come over. It is a large human. He says, "Welcome. You are new here. I don't recognize you. I thought I knew everyone around here. What's your name,
Indeed.
cutie?"
Indeed, I have recently arrived. Yesterday, in fact. I am called Sierra.
Oh, that's an interesting name. Says, "Well, welcome, Sierra. What's your poison?"
Have you elvish wine?
Says, "Indeed,
The
we do.
darkest red, please.
We have some very, very powerful and high quality elvish stocks here." And he would pop open like a carafe of wine and pour you a glass, smiling.
She will do all the hoity-toity like aroma and swirl to check the legs and like take a small sip and like seem like she knows what
Listen
she's
to
like.
it. Make sure you listen to it.
You have to listen to
Meanwhile,
it.
Mungus and Rosie are pounding beers at the other end of the bar.
Yeah, Mungus just ran right over to Rosie, and immediately they start drinking
Okay.
together.
So then, yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and like sit down and like maybe I end up being like a chair or two away from Nancy.
What's Doodles doing? I know what Mungus did.
I guess Doodles is gonna. I mean, seeing how Nazar slithered away on her own, he'd be looking kind of confused by himself, but he finds himself in this situation often, so he's gonna go grab a pint.
Yeah, someone paid for you, so you got free entry
Yeah.
today.
Exactly.
I know your funds are running a little bit low.
It's the life of a working class bartender.
Yep. All right, so yeah, you kind of do your normal thing, taking a seat over by some of the cushion chairs with some of the ladies over there, and just start talking to them. You're pretty well known here, I'm guessing.
Doodles, you're on me tonight.
I swear I've never been here before.
As everyone knows you by name.
Look, Doodles,
New
I'm
friend.
flush right now, okay? So, whatever you want to do tonight, it's on
Well,
me,
you're over
okay?
drinking by
fun.
Rosie. He actually is
I know.
probably.
I say that. Can I say that telepathically?
Oh, that's true. You got the
Hey,
telepathy.
don't worry about tonight. It's on me, bro. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
All right, so
yeah.
go ahead.
It's a night of drinking for me.
All right, so yeah, you get yourself a drink and sit down with some of the ladies there. Yeah, so Nasira, you're kind of talking to the bartender a bit. He's asking you a couple of questions about who you are and where you're from. You would probably notice something. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oof.
All right, so, well, okay, never mind. With a passive 17, you might not have noticed anything. What do you want to do?
Well, when Dirt moves away, then I'll kind of sit back in my chair with my glass of wine, and then just kind of look around and, kind of for the first time look at Nancy.
All right, Nancy definitely looks different from how she looked in the bar. She's dressed much more fancily, if that's a word.
She's dolled up for her job.
Yeah, she's got makeup on. She's she has like perfumes, and she's like the way she's sitting and just conducting herself, almost like she's a different person. Give me an insight check.
Okay.
So you think that she is probably has some training in being deceptive, just by how she can change herself so completely.
Okay. Does she notice me at this point? Or has she, is she looking my way when I look her way?
If she hasn't made it obvious.
Then I would say her name and greet her as though I've just noticed her. Because she came and we spent some time, she spent some time at our table, and probably since she hung out with us at the other bar for so long the previous night, for a couple hours, I assume it wouldn't be weird for me to be like, oh hey, it's you, something like that kind of thing.
All right, so you kind of walk over towards her, say what exactly are you saying as she's kind of talking to someone else?
So I want to point out that Nasira is extremely confident and poised and elegant, and Miriam is not. But I mean,
Doodles, what are you doing?
But I would try to, what a pleasant coincidence to encounter you again 2 nights in a row.
She turns, hearing you. She says, "Oh, yes, hello. My apologies. Your name escapes me. But yes, we spoke at the Fannigan's Flint."
Indeed. Do you mind if I join you?
She says, "Oh yeah, but what was your name? My apologies. Yeah.
Nasira.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Are your friends here? Now she's kind of looking around.
Couple of them. You see, Mungus has met a friend he's now quite fond
I
of
see he's
spending
met
his
Rosie.
evenings with.
She smiles and says, well, welcome.
She I like gesture across the bar to them as they like have their chugging contests.
I'm 7 feet tall. Like I'm noticeable.
Yeah, definitely noticeable. She says, "Well, I guess you know my my naughty little secret now," giving you a bit of a sultry smile.
Nothing naughty about making a living and excelling at one's craft.
She says, "Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
So I'm
not
actually
all are so open-minded
Oh.
about what I do."
I don't actually want to roleplay too much, but I would like to spend a reasonable amount of time just in casual conversation, like I'm just looking for some company and like find her pleasant, kind of for a little bit, and then try to broach the subject of whether or not she might not be will be available to spend some more private time.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay.
Or deception, actually. Either would cure.
Yeah, I'll do persuasion.
Oh.
All
right. So,
I'm so nervous, like when the dice is going to start hating me.
yeah, so you all begin drinking and talking and actually hit it off pretty well. You're not sure if this is more of her deceptiveness or just like luck, but you guys are very, there's some chemistry for sure. And when you ask the question, she says, well, of course, that's what I'm here for. I assumed when you came to speak with me that you might be interested in such a thing.
Oh, yes, but of course it is also your choice, not just because you work here, I assume, does not mean you must take every client who asks.
She says, no, I don't have to, but I certainly wouldn't mind taking you. She, again, gives you a sultry wink.
So then I would order another round of drinks and ask ask her to lead the way, I guess.
All right. So Mungus, I'm assuming you're just kind of, are you staying here or are you trying to like, okay, so you're just hanging out at the bar, basically.
Yeah.
I try to pull out my acoustic guitar and start playing some songs.
All right. So the lyre bard is currently playing some songs, but if you go and talk to her, she would kind of sigh and say, "All right, well, just
why don't we share the stage?
As long as you don't start playing tavern ditties like you did last time, you have to keep the mood."
What are you talking about?
She says, "You know exactly
Everybody
what I'm talking about."
Everybody enjoyed it.
No, they didn't. Just do you have any sultry songs? She says, like something that would be appropriate for this place.
Maybe like 1.5.
All right, we'll just play that one over and over, I guess, at least until I choose to take back the stage, and she'll kind of gesture.
You're her breaker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so give me a performance check.
Thought you're big enough. 1.
Oh. So yeah, you let loose some of your skills with the sultry music, which is going pretty well. And after a little while, you and Mungus would both notice Nasira leaving with Nancy. Do the two of you want to do anything?
I'm going to throw a bardic inspiration on her.
Just from across the room. You just like yell out,
I'm just strumming my
"Hey,
guitar.
Nasira, woo, go!" You feel weirdly inspired by that.
I feel like I want to look at Doodles. It's like, I see you, man. Like, like I.
All right.
I feel like I would like make some kind of like,
Give him a thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys are kind of waiting there. Nasira, you're going someplace private with Nancy. What are you trying to do exactly?
So I would ask if there's a powder room I can duck into briefly en route.
Says, oh, yeah, sure. I mean, you don't have to look pretty for me. It's the other way around.
I would briefly pretend to be slightly demure and yeah, I duck into the whatever. Yeah, I just go ahead and go into the powder room.
All right, so you duck into the powder room off to the side. There's probably a couple of ladies in here finishing
Okay.
up their makeup, but yeah, they would kind of finish and just smile at you and walk out.
Okay. Can I kind of hum to myself as I'm walking in and kind of make my song vaguely similar to the sound of spellcasting and then go into a detect evil and good while running the water or whatever I can to minimize the...
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Stealth or performance. Either
I
of
think I'm
those
gonna
would
go
probably
with
work.
Stealth.
All right, so you use tricks to kind of hide the sound of your spell casting, and luckily no one's nearby enough to detect it as far as you can tell, and you would get your spell off.
All right. And so then I would
I assume
step
that's
back
a
out of the
one-action spell, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will step back out of the powder room and have Nancy continue to lead the way, meanwhile utilizing the spell to discern whether or not there's any evil in this hallway.
So you cast protection from good and evil?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I clicked the wrong thing. Here it is. Sorry. Still first
Detect.
level, so I'll leave
Okay.
the spell slot that was already subtracted.
Yeah, so you cast the spell, and yeah, as soon as you walk out, you would see that Nancy is an undead.
Okay. I will drop the spell because I don't want to continue concentrating and possibly be noticed. And I would say via the bond that Nancy is definitely undead.
You would also notice as you come out for a moment, there is another brothel worker down the hall who is also undead.
I had a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will say that Nancy and another worker at least are undead. And then I think I'm committed now, so I will go ahead and tell Nancy to lead the way.
All right. So are you just spending some time with her, like hiring her out for her
so-
services?
Yeah, I mean, Nasira fully intends to have some fun as two consensual adults, so there's no deception there. But she will try and find any opportunities to kind of make more of a connection, like moments where maybe we talk a little bit about ourselves or something. Nasira has a pretty severe scar across her face and down her neck and torso, and so like maybe that would give her an opportunity to like appear vulnerable by sharing some bits of her childhood with Nancy. Trying to, yeah.
All right. What did I have Mungus roll? Was it performance or con? I forget.
I think it was one of those two. Like, you gave him the choice.
All right. So
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't hear that. Do I do a con?
I think it
No,
was
I
con.
said
He was asking what you did
yesterday.
last time.
So yeah, Nasira, you could do a performance check or a constitution check.
All
Your
let's
choice.
see. I think that Constitution. Oh, they're the same. They're the same. So it doesn't matter. And I'm going to use my bardic inspiration on this.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding
You get
me?
advantage, I think.
No. Does the inspiration give advantage?
That's also.
Not
Yeah.
generally.
No.
You have to say say you're using it
The
before.
motive.
Yeah,
She
you.
did.
Well, she said she was using a bardic inspiration, right?
Yeah, which
That doesn't
my
give
bardic
advantage.
inspiration.
Or does it? That doesn't normally give inspiration.
Oh, you have advantage on the Bardic Inspiration check. Or on the Bardic Inspiration die.
Oh,
Just
do
kidding.
you?
Yeah, that's one of my subclass features. And also, you hear a little pop around you, and a rainbow is emitted.
That's... So
That's interesting.
Nasira would laugh and she says, "I see," or not Nasira. Nancy would laugh and she says, "I see you've met Doodles." She sighs.
Oh, nice. Would
give
that
me
be a D10 or a D12?
Yeah,
I
what?
think
What's...
a D10.
D10. Okay.
Let me double check.
Oh my
But,
lord.
Oh my
So-
god.
So
Hey,
you
17,
get
I
to roll
guess?
two
Slow.
D10s. You get to roll two
Two?
D10s.
Okay.
Watch
You
your
get
back, no, no,
advantage
one
on
more.
the Bardic.
Well, that's not
Yeah.
actually a
Okay.
thing, but 12 isn't, because yeah, usually it's only you have advantage
then,
on
I guess
D20
it's
rolls. I'm guessing this
13.
is just a
I'll
thing
link
for the
the-
class.
I'll
It's a
linked-
subclass
yeah.
thing. Has
Yeah,
linked
I
it. When a
linked it.
creature rolls the inspiration die to add it to an ability check, the creature can roll the Bardic inspiration die. Roll
Okay, so that's not advantage, but that's a
Oh.
different thing. So yeah, it would be
So
9.
should I use
Yeah,
the 16 or
true.
should I roll again?
But yeah, it's basically the same thing. So well, you would take the
3 plus
9.
9.
So 12. Well, it was better than Mungus did yesterday.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you guys spend some time together. And what about all of you out in the market? Because it's been a while you're all waiting out here. I'm guessing Nasira and everyone's kind of keeping you up to date on what's going on. Although Nasira at this point probably went quiet.
I think
Because
I think
it's
we're
only
just
been an
like-
hour, hasn't it? Yeah.
I wanted to say, like, I probably would relay to the rest of the team. There's undead around here. Like, I think we're already aware of it, but like, we are. Would I have telepathically heard that?
Yeah,
Nancy's undead?
I think Nasira told everyone, right?
Yeah, she
bef-
did.
Yeah.
Via the bond before, like when I left the powder room.
Yeah. So you all would
So I
have
feel
heard
like
that.
Mungus would have said, "Hey, be on the lookout for some undead out there."
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
You just waiting?
I think so. Do we
Uh,
know if the bond's still up or is it like finished or?
It's still up for an hour, at which point it would finish. I'm guessing Nasira would be in there for a couple of hours. So later on, it probably isn't up. You just would probably. Well, I don't think Nasira would be talking to you while she was with
No.
Nancy anyway.
Yeah.
But what about? Okay, so you guys outside are just waiting, right, to see what happens.
Yeah. As soon
Yeah.
like
Well,
That's
as soon as the bond drops, I'm basically just gonna be looking through Lareth the whole time.
Okay, so the owl is just kind of like hanging out with Doodles. All the ladies are chatting with him after he finishes his song, that is. And I'm guessing that him and Mungus are just waiting downstairs, or are you two doing anything else?
I was probably still at the bar with Rosie until
Okay.
I saw Nasira leave, and then however far my connection went with her until I found out that Nancy's undead. I feel like I would learn that and then relay that to whoever else can hear.
Oh, they all
On our-
heard.
Oh, the
channel.
second she relayed it, we all heard it. She's
Yeah.
relaying it
Okay.
from the bond we all are sharing.
So yeah, I would start telling everybody on the outside, be on the lookout for some undead
Yeah, well, yeah,
entities.
you mentioned that already, but are you doing anything on the inside while you're waiting for Nancy, or just hanging out at the bar for a few hours?
Still drinking beers with Rosie at
Alright.
the far end.
So
and being aware of it.
probably about a half hour or so after Nancy leaves, Rosie would be like, "So, are you going to hire me, or are we just hanging out?"
Can I see if Rosie has any like weapons on her?
Give me a I mean, how are you seeing if she has weapons? She doesn't have any obvious ones.
I'm just saying like she's capable in the fight. So
I mean, she beat you up pretty good yesterday, so
right.
she could probably handle
Hey.
herself.
All right, cool, Rosie. So maybe there's some opportunities. I don't know. You look like you can handle an axe. We might need some people that can handle axes. So stick around. What do you think?
She arches
Another
an
beer?
eyebrow at you. She says, "Handle an axe." What kind of role play is that?
No.
Uh,
Take the hooker into battle.
She says,
The other stuff comes on the other side. Like we talk about that. We negotiate that another time.
she
We
smiles.
don't
She says,
actually
"You're
know
into
that Rosie's
the
not undead.
you're into the kinky stuff, aren't you?"
Did we not
I'm gonna
already
throw
established
a
that?
bardic inspiration on this guy as well.
You just throw one out. I mean, it only
Well,
lasts 10 minutes.
Hang on. Would the detect
You tell me that's
undead? Is that only on Nancy or like could Rosie?
There
be
was
undead?
one other person.
Uh,
but I don't
she-
know if it was
Nasira
Rosie.
told you that at least 2 people in the hallway were undead.
Yeah,
when
she
went
didn't.
upstairs.
She
Okay.
didn't see Nancy
Nancy and
because
another,
Nancy,
yeah.
or she didn't see Rosie because Rosie
Yeah, I
was still
didn't look at
downstairs.
Rosie. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think me and Rosie have another beer, and then I look at Doodles on stage and say, "You want to regroup outside?"
Until you sat outside, I was so concerned.
You're gonna be a tease bud?
Well, Doodles,
You know,
Doodles at this point is
you-
probably on the beanbag chair. He finished his song.
Beanbag chair. How
He's
classy.
hanging out with the ladies.
I thought this was a classy joint.
It's got the hookah.
It's got,
cool.
yeah, it's got exactly the
yeah,
hookah
I go-
section.
I go
Okay.
to the
Everybody
VIP
loves
lounge.
Doodle.
I go to the VIP lounge with Doodles as his security. There we go. I recruit Rosie to come over with us and drink beers with me.
Alright.
How much does Rosie cost a night?
Oh, are you asking her?
Yeah.
She
2-foot boy
Oh, shit.
asking the orc.
she kind of looks down at you, this huge half orc, and smiles, and she says, "For you, Doodles, probably about 50 gold."
50 gold.
That's how much Mungus paid yesterday.
Oh, Mungus.
But you have to haggle.
Mungus.
But you have to
Oh.
haggle.
Ah.
It's rude if you don't haggle. So go ahead.
I
And she
try
says,
and haggle
"That's not
with
true."
any of those kind of women, and I guarantee you, it will not go well.
All I got was a
Rosie,
black
that's
eye.
too much. You know me.
She says, "What do you mean that's too
We've had
much?"
many a good night.
Wait, have we?
No.
She says, "I don't remember that. In fact, you usually
bet
avoid
you
me. I
don't.
thought you were into the smaller girls."
Ooh.
Sounds bad.
Ouch. Ouch. Well, I guess, yeah, if you want to chill over here, I'll buy your drinks for you, Rosie.
She says, "Sure, I'll hang out with you, but I'm gonna have to go looking for clients soon. If you guys just want to drink, I could probably give you about another half hour."
Stick around. You don't have to. Someone comes in. We understand. Bye, Rosie.
All right, so you guys are kind of hanging out, drinking, waiting. If there's nothing else, I'll just pass time. Just let me
Sounds
know
good.
if anyone's doing anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
But about yeah,
Doodles is disappointingly looking at Mungus.
disappointingly
Yes.
shakes his head.
All
at you.
right.
How dare you not get it in?
Why? Why?
Doodles is disappointed. All right, so yeah, a couple hours pass. Let's say it's about 7 p.m. when Nasira comes back downstairs.
And I would leave like her like 6 platinum pieces, and just kind of say something about like perhaps we can
So she
spend time in the future or something.
yeah, she would have asked you for 50 gold. That's kind of like the standard for
Okay,
a couple
then I
of
guess
hours.
I would leave her 5 platinum pieces.
All right, no tip.
Okay, 6 platinum pieces. I don't know what would be generous but not ostentatious.
I don't know, like probably yeah. I mean 6 would probably. So you leave her 6 platinum, and she smiles and thanks you, and she says, "I hope we can do that again sometime."
And yes,
Oh.
yeah. So and I would.
She gives you
I
a
was
sultry
definitely
smile.
I was definitely trying to either make a real connection or at least make her think that I do like her. Which
Give me
know-
another persuasion check with advantage.
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration on this.
Well, you already
Just
have
because.
advantage.
Oh, you said with advantage. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright, so you said persuasion.
I'm gonna be your sugar mama.
Shit, back one more.
19.
Oh, I guess 19's not bad. Yeah.
So yeah, she says, "Oh, yeah, for sure. I'd love to hang out with you again. That was a lot of fun. I hope to see
Okay.
you soon."
So then, yeah,
Will
I
you
would
be at
come
the
down.
Finnegan's Flynn tonight? Finnegan's Flint?
Yes, we are staying there for the foreseeable future. We are
Alright.
awaiting.
Well,
Um,
maybe I'll see you there, hon. She gives you another wink.
Oh,
Yeah. So then I would pleasantly take my leave and appear unhurried. Does she kind of come back down with me, or do I kind of find my own? way
Yeah,
down?
she'll walk you to the door.
Okay.
And
alright, 'cause I don't-
actually,
yeah.
as Nasira is coming down the stairs with Nancy, a familiar face would walk through the front door.
Voley?
Yes,
It wouldn't
Voley,
surprise me. Yeah.
Voley walks in. And he says, "There you all are. Oh my gods, I've been looking for you everywhere. They told me you went
He
to
probably-
the brothel."
Probably
but
would have seen
Who's
like us three at
they?
first.
I thought it was a
People
joke.
at the Flint.
Yeah, the people at the Flint. I went there to meet up with you, and no one was
The
there.
people at the Flint didn't know
Actually-
we went to a brothel.
Weren't you talking about it? I think you were talking. about it.
No. We were in the suite.
Oh, well, I never know where you are. I thought you were in the tavern.
We said we were in
All
the
right.
suite.
Well, I'll
because we were
say
telling,
Doodles. Doodles was not
Doodles about
tight-lipped
everything.
about this. Doodles may have
Oh,
told
just
someone.
playing doodles. Just playing doodles for everything.
Captain, or
Yeah, but Doodles.
Voley looks to Doodles. He says, "Yeah, you were telling that lady that you all came here."
What lady?
He says,
I
"The one
I
at the
don't know
bar."
any ladies.
He says, "Anyway, I need."
What's sat at the bar
The one that
talking to
works
ladies?
here?
He says,
Um,
"I had to pay 20 gold to get in here to talk to you all. So come on. Are you all?"
I mean-
I will
Yeah.
head for the door, and I will,
He
you know,
says, "Oh,
be
Nasira's
kind of-
in here. I didn't see that one
I'll-
coming."
I'll say, you may deliver your report to us back at the suite at the Flint,
He says,
and she'll just kind of sweep confidently towards the door.
He says, "I bet you had a fling." Oh, da-dum-tsh. He gives you
Nasira
a
seems
salute.
completely unfazed.
All right, so he's gonna walk out. There you go. He's gonna walk out with the three of you. I'll say he probably didn't see all of you in the marketplace waiting outside. But he says, "I got you a meeting with my sister
Excellent.
for tomorrow. Tomorrow in the afternoon, she has some time to see you.
Very
So,
good.
I would recommend not getting into trouble while you're in the North Quarter. That could be bad. If you're going to do anything against the Seal Shadow, I'd wait till you have some more backup."
Do we have a invitation or some sort of thing that we'll need to show in order to enter?
He says, "I will bring you,
Okay.
and I'll get you through the door."
And I assume we're walking as
Yeah.
we're talking.
So the group is, where are you going?
Back to Flint, I guess.
Yeah.
When, yeah.
And I will avoid talking about anything more than an invitation to see the sister tomorrow. And other such things that aren't necessarily dangerous while we're out among crowds and stuff.
All
But
right.
once we get to our suite, I will.
I think we want to talk to the captain about this a little bit.
Well, no, maybe I just didn't. I don't know who might be watching or listening to us. when
Yeah,
we're
once
walking
we get
around.
back to
Yeah.
the suite is what I meant.
But yeah, I would share that I attempted. Once I learned that she was undead, I knew it would be more suspicious and more dangerous to me and possibly to us for me to back out. So, I attempted to kind of make a connection. She may or may not believe that we are friends now, but she's definitely undead, and at least one other brothel worker is as well. I didn't risk holding the spell long enough to observe any others.
Are you saying this in front of the captain?
I
Or-
don't
yeah,
think it's a
I think
bad
this
thing.
vampire thing is something that's just kind of come up here in this town. So I feel like, sure.
He says,
Might be- You might
one
know
of
more
the
about what's been happening.
This vampire thing has been in the town for a while, I believe.
yeah,
Well, I mean, as
Voldy-
far as our group and our quest leads, like we haven't told him all the details of some of the other stuff we're doing, but this particular quest, I'm assuming we don't care about him being in on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
It's based in
yeah.
his town.
he says I would
Right.
assume there were several vampires at the brothel. That wouldn't surprise me.
Tell
Why
us
wouldn't
more.
it surprise you?
He says because there are vampires around. Like, you should know this, Doodles. Although, also, why are you in the suite, Doodles? Aren't you supposed to be serving drinks?
He quit.
I have,
He's with us.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I've told the man to fuck himself. So
We
I hope
we
not.
have hired his services. We shall see if he lives up to his promises.
He says, well, welcome
I've
to the
been
team.
upgraded to a personal chef.
Oh, well, that's a good move on your guys' part. He is a great chef. I will say that.
Really?
Sorry,
I
what?
don't see it.
See, they doubt me. They doubt me, but they don't even
No, no, they don't know you. I doubt you.
the large elf man doubts you. He says, but yeah, there have been vampires in Revan's Pass for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, but are they allowed to kill people?
I mean, most people don't care when certain nobodies go missing. I mean, I don't agree with it, but it's not something I can really do anything about. He says, most of the people who go missing are the lower class, the farmers and laborers.
You mean the people who allow the civilization to thrive?
He says, yes, those people. But
I mean, he has a point.
it's not something that has really been looked into. The guards kind of turn the other way. My guess is one of the noble families is vampiric. That would make sense. They probably have their lackeys keeping an eye on things within the city.
Well, if it's not your family, then that gives us two possibilities.
He nods. He says, "Now that's just kind of conspiracy theory. I don't have any proof, but it's the only way that the city. It's the only reason it would make sense that the city hasn't done more about this."
What of this Thieves Guild? Would you guess that they may also be involved, or no?
He says, "What, the Pit Boys?"
Sure. We've encountered several mentions of these people and have even met a few of them in the day and a half we've been here.
He says, "I mean, possibly, but they seem more like a thief organization than some kind of undead family. I guess there's no way to know."
Well, the reason we ask is because we were looking into
For
this
anyone else, or
particular
is that
man's
just me?
death, and he seemed to owe money to those people when he got killed by a vampire.
So you tell him the story of poor, what's his name, Ephron.
Yeah.
He listens and nods and says, "Felling with some loan sharks and a vampire ate him. That's rough." That would make sense then if either someone hired a vampire to kill him, or yeah, maybe the Thieves Guild runs with vampires.
Yeah, well, that's why we were at the brothel. A lot of evidence we found led to this person we had met who we knew worked there.
He says, "Yeah, sorry, I don't know much about it. I mean, as Doodles mentioned, it's been a problem here for a while. Not something that was ever really looked into. If you're gonna go turning over stones, I'd be careful. If there is a larger group of the vampires, they'll probably come after you."
I was gonna say, does it sound like the kind of thing you were saying we should probably avoid then?
He says, "That would be
Especially if a noble family ends up being worked up and it could end up hurting our chances.
He says that would be my recommendation, but you all are also pretty heroic types, so I don't know. Whatever you think is best."
Figure
Well,
it out.
if we return to that brothel at any point, I will cast my spell prior to entering so that I may scan the common room and get a better count, perhaps.
He says, "Well, if you do make friends with my sister, I don't know, maybe our family can help protect you in the event you do fight with vampires. Assuming
Well,
they have political power.
Yeah, it is my hope that I may have begun a connection that might also protect us. But we'll see.
He nods and says, "All right, well, I'll do what I can, at least for the time I'm in the city. Just let me know what you need." And he would take his leave. Have a good night, all. I am
But it
going back to the brothel to do some research of my own.
of course.
Is that where research is done? I thought it was
Indeed.
done in the library.
Wow, it's done there too if you're lucky enough. And he gives you a wink.
So I think that perhaps we should continue to watch for more information on these vampires and how numerous they are and how they operate and any other clues. But it does sound like perhaps at the moment we do not know enough or perhaps are out of our breadth. I can never say that word. DTH
Breadth.
always.
Brett, you're all right.
Yeah, breadth. But yeah, but I say that our focus should return to Scarlet for now,
Yep.
and we see where this visit to the affluent area leads tomorrow.
All right,
Do we
so-
want to just chill until our meeting then?
Yep. Let's do that.
All right, so it's pretty late at this point. Do you want to just pass the evening?
Oh,
I would
I'm gonna
go-
cook some food.
Yeah, I think we would go down, or at least I would go down to the common room and spend some time there in case Nancy does come by.
All right, and you said you're cooking some food for them doodles.
That would be the idea.
All right, go ahead and
And
roll.
LJ is getting drunk.
LJ is getting drunk. Go ahead and roll a cooking check. See how good this food is.
Am I allowed to use my charisma?
For cooking, I would probably say that would be more intelligence or wisdom. I'm not sure how
He
charisma.
makes that food with love.
Yeah,
They say that's the most important ingredient, right?
he
Is
drill
charisma
sergeant.
love? I don't know.
I don't know.
Dex?
No, he's the drill sergeant of cooking. He yells at them and they make themselves.
He
Uh,
persuades them into being delicious.
yeah, I guess Dex could be used.
Yes. And because of halfling, I get an extra 1d4.
Okay. So an extra
Nice.
4. Yeah, I mean, you do a pretty good meal. It's definitely better than anything that the group has been eating. Day 13. You guys get a nicely cooked meal that evening. Nancy would show up and probably hang out with Nasira, talking and building rapport. But other than that, the evening would pass without much happening. So go ahead and spend your, I think it was 4 gold pieces each for your expenses.
Okay.
I kept them.
All right, so
How much gold was it, sorry?
4 gold pieces each for
Can someone pay for me or give me money?
accommodations.
I got you.
You got it? Okay.
I have a whole 6 coins in my purse.
1
1 gold, 5 platinum.
When LJ is off drunk, he will also give you 12 on top of the 4 he's paying now.
What? So you're giving me 12 gold?
He
Yeah.
gives you another 12 gold because he's drunk, I guess.
Yes. Let's go with that.
All right. So the
Actually pay for living expenses now.
the next day, I'm going to pass time till the afternoon unless any of you want to do anything.
During that time, Eldon just attempt to grab a spell into his spell book. First level, so it's just 2 hours.
Yeah,
I
you
was going to prep some different spells, but I think you don't have the compendiums yet.
No, I probably don't. So you probably would have to, I don't know, Yeah, didn't
I could
you?
just like type them in or some bullcrap for the one I want to add.
Yeah, that might be best for now. Like copy paste the stuff in.
Yeah, I'll just do that for now.
But anyway, the morning would pass without much issue as you wait for your meeting. And around 12, you would be brought to the northwestern section of the city. So the captain would bring you to the gate, and he would let them know that you have an appointment with his sister, and the guards people would indeed let you through.
Nice.
So where are you going to go? I assume you're just going to head over to his estate.
Yeah, I think we're going to Stevison? Is that right? Stevison?
I believe that's the
Estate?
captain's name. Yeah, Voli Stevison. So you walk past a building with the Steel Shadow insignia kind of on the front door, carved into it, and several guards. They don't take much note of you as you walk past.
Looks like we are cabbage farmers here.
Yeah, there are fields of crops being radiated by sunstones above. Looks like a huge planting. And you kind of move to the east, over the bridge here, and head into the Stevison estate. Is anyone doing anything on the way, or are you just going into the estate?
Wow, I got the Cavero spelled really wrong.
How long do you think we'll be there?
Beware.
And the estate, like in half hour, 40 minutes, an hour. I would ask the group.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, that's hard to say. I'm not sure. What is do we intend to tell this sister our real intentions in this town, our real goals here, or are we going in with some
Might be worthwhile just
other
telling them.
story? Yeah, like I'm not sure what the appointment is meant to be, if there was some cover.
Well, I think that's more of a question for Volley. Did you give us a cover for this, or are we just telling them what we're telling them?
I think Volley was just telling her that you were heroes, that you were heading through, and that you might be able to help the family out because
It's
of your
actually a pretty cool looking
mercenary.
building with its little turrets.
Yeah. So there are a bunch of guards at the front door. Looks like Drow. And they would probably recognize you from Voli's descriptions and say, you are expected, friends. Come in.
I would be continuously casting minor illusion of a crown on my head.
Alright, just kind of maintaining that as you
Perhaps
walk.
we should buy you some bubbles, a diadem, a tiara, perhaps, so that you needn't continually recast that.
But yeah, you might not be wrong. I don't know where you could find a crown that looks this fancy though. As I cast minor illusion.
Order it on commission.
Does it get fancier with each cast?
Yeah.
100%.
A few extra gems, extra ruby here and there.
I look at it and I just look at my brass knuckles and go, I like these.
Likes his brass
Off to
knuckles.
meet this
Yeah.
lady.
Alright, so you are led into the house, which is a very lovely home. The front area is adorned with all sorts of paintings, decorations. There's a very nice looking suit of ceremonial plate mail, padded chairs, all sorts of nifty looking things. But you are led up the stairs into a large office with several fully armored individuals. And in the middle of all these Drow warriors, there is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman who looks like a half-elf. She bows as you enter and says, "You must be the friends of my brother. Welcome."
Remind me, was Voli? He's a deep
Drow.
elf, right?
He's Drow,
A
yeah.
dark elf. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
She says, "I am Azula Stevison, at your service." She says, "Welcome to our home. Please have a seat." And she gestures.
Oh, she
to me.
remind me so much of the chick from Goop.
I don't know what that is, but
Oh, it's
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
oh, well,
It's her beauty line, her slightly suspicious claims beauty line.
so yeah, she would motion for you all to sit at the table as a bunch of her cooks bring in some food.
All right, so we just out of character, we decided we're gonna be fairly honest with her. Maybe not tell her
I think
every
so.
detail, but
Yeah,
we're
we need
okay.
we need an ally.
Yeah.
here.
Especially with the fact that I've confirmed that a person
Yeah.
that we are like friends with is definitely in this town.
Yeah.
Being
It is most kind of you to extend your hospitality. Your home is lovely.
Oh, thank you. What's your name, friend?
This is Nasira.
Nasira. An interesting name. Yanti, I believe?
Correct. You have a good eye.
This is, well, I actually deal with them quite a bit. And she would kind of go around the table asking for all of your names.
yeah, I'd give mine, and I would specifically say mine as Onvir of the Hildar Temple.
Oh, lovely. Yes, I've actually been there. It's a very lovely place. She says, so I was curious, how did you all meet my brother? He never told me.
I give him a
we
look like,
were-
how much does your sister know?
Oh, he's not with
we
you.
were. What would
We were
say?
doing business with him on behalf of another party.
My family wasn't quite able to keep up with his bridge toll.
Oh, just came out with it.
Okay.
I'm saying it. I don't like the captain.
She sighs. She says he's still running that little band of mercenaries
about
then. He told me he
Is
was done
Bully
with
here?
that. No, he didn't come in with you.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've mostly settled it, at least for Onvir's
Temple.
family.
Yeah.
She says, I see. Well, that's good at least. I feel like his time would be better spent doing other things. So,
I couldn't agree more.
she says, do you know my brother well, or are you sort of passing acquaintances with him?
We are
I think we've spent a
very
whole
recent.
2 days with him.
Yes.
So you don't know him that well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know him well. He's been drinking at the bar for some time.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. We have perfectly good wine and drink here, but he's always going to the lower areas of the city.
You can't
Sometimes it's
complain
about the environment.
company. Yeah.
He says, I suppose.
So are we dining? Like, did you say we're sitting at a table?
Yeah, so she brought out some lunch. There's some
Oh,
very,
okay.
very pleasant meats and cheeses that you're partaking in. Probably some wine.
But what do you mean by the lower parts of the city? My cooking is stupendous.
Past the gate.
She says, oh, my apologies. I wasn't trying to say there was anything wrong with that part of the city. Just, it's a little unbecoming for people of the family to be hanging out in such places for extended periods of time. And he has definitely been derelict in his duties to our household.
Are there very many members of your family?
He says,
We know of only the two of you.
He says, yes, there is myself, my parents, and my brother. Though my parents are in the capital, that's where our main household is. I don't know if he told you this, but Voli is actually my half-brother. The result of she kind of looks embarrassed. She says, "Dalliance of my father."
I Onvi would be like, I kind of assumed, but I didn't want to be rude.
The
She
drow
kinda-
and the half elf.
She kind of
Yeah, exactly.
I assumed I was not. I'm basically the opposite of that guy over there. As a point under.
She nods. Says,
Well,
so go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. What was she gonna say?
I'm
So
just happy he's not my kid.
so you're all kind of eating and drinking and like listening as she talks, right?
Yeah.
So she says, all that aside, I've heard that you are looking to gain standing within our city, within Revan's Pass. Is that correct? You're looking for
Yes.
powerful allies.
I confess that we seek exactly that. Allies that might give us
Opportunity?
information or opportunities. Yes, very good word on there. We have a rather delicate situation.
Please tell me.
Ago. So has it been days, weeks, or months in game since the attack on Campbell?
It's been weeks. It's been a few weeks.
So some weeks ago, a friend of ours was staying in our manor in Candleholm, and a attack occurred against the town. And my companions and I, gesture around to the group, left our estate to assist the town guard in defending the town against a formidable purple worm.
Oh my.
But you see, while we were doing so, someone entered our manor, slew a friend of ours, and kidnapped another.
I see.
We believe that the worm attack was an orchestrated distraction, and we have sought leads on our kidnapped friend's whereabouts ever since. And just yesterday, we discovered the first tangible proof that we've had since the day of the kidnapping. Anvir, do you want to jump in?
Hello. Yes, I am a clerical practitioner of Hildar.
Oh,
I have
a warrior
certain
of
magical. Yes, kind of. More focused on the magical than the warrior.
Says I don't know much about the divine magics, but I know many clerics who are involved in religious warfare, so I'm familiar.
Well, one of the abilities that I possess is the ability to sense the direction of a creature within 1,000 feet of me as long as I have met that creature before. And I used that ability to try and find our kidnapped friend in this town, and I sensed that they were in this more upper class area.
Very poignant of you. Do you know where they are?
I can only surmise that the most likely place for them to be located would probably be the base of the Steel Shadow.
Ah, the Mercenary Guild. Yes, I'm familiar. And she would wave her hand as the servants are bringing more wine over. She says, "So you're looking to get your kidnapped friend back, and I'm guessing you want the Stevison House aid in this project of yours."
We understand that the politics and balance of powers in this town are precarious if act rashly. So yes, an ally or a guide of some sort would be most welcome.
We don't want to act
She
hastily and make an
laughs.
enemy of everyone.
She laughs and says, "Precarious, that's putting it lightly. The balance between the houses is constantly upkept on the edge of a knife. There's much secret fighting and espionage between our three houses, though we also work together to maintain the city. There's a what's the word? There's a truce at the moment, but it's not uncommon for fights to break out between the nobility. We probably couldn't act directly against the Steel Shadow, but I might be able to help you if what you're looking to do is get back your kidnapped friend. She says, I would ask something of you first, though.
Fair.
She says,
We are, yeah.
tell me and be honest, what do you think of my brother?
He seems like he potentially has a great amount of. Well, I don't want to say potential twice in the same sentence, but yes, he seems to have a lot of potential, but seems to goof off a lot.
He is overly confident, but his skills are recognizable. I do not know why someone with his abilities and his background of wealth would tax small folk who can barely afford it. That is very strange. But
Does he like margaritas too much?
He says,
Do you like pina coladas?
he does drink a lot.
I think dun, 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 dun.
What about Mungus? Is Mungus saying anything about him? Is Mungus here?
I think your mic's not working again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I guess what he does that. Eldon just goes like, can't say I really trust the guy that much, but I could definitely admit that it. Like,
Here's
He's like-
douche.
I love that. She told us to be honest.
it's like I can't say I trust him much, but I can't admit that he's good at what he does.
She nods. She says,
Can you
he...
hear me now?
Yes,
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a douche.
is a douche.
Honestly, I agree with them, but I'm changing douche for asshole.
She nods, listening to you, and says, I would agree. I don't understand why he finds such entertainment in these theatrics of setting up these tolls and trying to defend all these places within the deep that our family has no business having resources in. He's been a bit of a nuisance, if I'm honest. So, let me ask you, if I wanted you to get rid of him, is that something you'd consider?
Do I
She
get the
now
sense that
looks
she's
very
being
poignantly
genuine?
at all of you.
Do I get the
Ooh-wee.
sense that this is a genuine question or a test question?
Give me an insight on that.
And can multiple people insight? Because that's
Sure,
kind of a
you can
big,
all
big
insight.
bomb she
this.
just
I'm
dropped.
going to use my inspiration on this.
I already used my inspiration.
19.
I'm out of inspiration.
Oh, no, I didn't,
got
because
that
it
one.
Mungus is still like eating it, drinking his soup. He's like, "What's going on?"
I got a turkey like, oh,
Nom, nom,
My
nom.
passive
Wait,
is
what are we doing?
18, though.
He like
18.
took a too big a bite and he's like choked.
What are we
Bend to the
doing?
table.
All right, so
I rolled low, but my passive's 18.
19. You guys aren't sure actually what her purpose is in asking this. She's very hard to read.
I think I would need to question that a little deeper as to the
Um.
reasoning behind it before I would want to answer either way.
She says,
Can you repeat yourself, please?
She says, as I had said, if I asked you to get rid of him, is that something you would consider in return for our help in this venture of yours?
I think I would need to definitely ask, why would you want him gone?
She says, because he's a nuisance, because he is bringing the family name down, and mother and father don't realize it. I'm tired of him and his antics and all the problems he's causing.
But we could just send him off to a distant plane. We don't have to actually kill him.
She
Right.
says, give me a persuasion on that.
This got dark real fucking quick.
This is not what I was
Fucked
expecting.
out.
Think of my brother. Would you kill him?
So Doodles, the door is closed and there are guards there. If you're trying to walk out,
Oh, they don't. Do they block his way
Oh.
if he tries to walk out?
are you trying to walk past them?
Yeah, I'm saying I heard nothing, I saw nothing.
So they would step in front of you,
Oh.
Ah,
and she kind of
you
arches an
know,
eyebrow
it's
now.
sad that your parents are so disappointed in your life that you can't let a small halfling through the door.
She says, so what's your answer? Do you wish our help or not?
I wish to not be associated with this. I heard
I think-
nothing. I saw nothing.
I think I have to say, as our, I don't know if I'm 100% speaking for the group, but I feel like I kind of am. Which is, we've never really killed anyone that hasn't done something explicitly very evil. Like, I'm not gonna say your brother isn't a bit of a dick sometimes, but he's not evil.
Yes, I hold no affinity for this brother of yours. In fact, I find him rather pompous and annoying, but I'm
He's a
not usually
douche.
in the business of contract killing for nuisances.
She says, well, people would probably have to die to get your friend back. People within the ranks of the Steel Shadow. I mean,
Murderers
I
and
assume,
kidnappers.
well, soldiers, but I assume you would be okay with them dying to retrieve your friend.
As our friend died and others in the retrieval or in the kidnapping of her.
She says, well, my brother, while not a murderer, is not without his share of battles he's fought and people he's killed.
Bring
in
us
combat.
Scarlet. We'll bring your brother's head.
Say what?
He's like, "Where's Scarlet? We'll bring your brother's head."
Oh, bring us Scarlet and okay, I gotcha. Okay.
So she would look at Mungus and look at the rest of you and say, does he speak for all of you?
Not really.
We would prefer to find alternative arrangements. Perhaps we could discuss options.
So at this point, one of the people from the back comes out and looks to her, and she kind of waves him away. And she says, well,
One of the servants?
yeah. And she says, well, it's disappointing. I had hoped we could work together. We also have a problem that I know that you will most likely tell him of this encounter.
Of course.
Well, yeah. What's the situation?
Do these servants look like
uh,
they have weapons?
The servants don't, but all the guards do. And
And how many of
actually,
them are there?
everyone give me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh, God.
As you start to feel a little strange.
With
I mean, like,
disadvantage?
honestly,
oh, God.
like 2 members of this group look like they're seriously considering her proposal, but I don't know about the rest.
I do
I got
have some
double
kind of, I don't
30.
get surprised.
I will also say, I don't
I've-
know if it's a magical thing, but I can't be put to sleep.
You're telling her that?
No, I'm just
No, he's
saying,
telling
depending
you
on what
that.
this constitution thing is.
So you would feel sickly. Actually, everyone but Doodles. Doodles actually feels okay, maybe a little like
He
indigestion.
rolled double 20s.
Double 20s.
All right, my friend. What do we have going on here?
But yeah,
Alright.
you would kind of all like start feeling
she
a
just
little
poison us?
strange.
Have we been eating poison?
She
Friend,
says,
what's going on?
she says,
No,
well,
I'm immune to poison. Never mind.
as I said, unfortunately, since you will not take this job, I cannot
I
let
mean,
you
we
leave
never
here.
said we were
We
not
had not.
taking the time.
Yeah, 2
We
of
were
us
not-
were
not
seriously
taking the
considering
job.
it.
She says,
I
well,
offered you your brother's head. That's what you want, right?
she
We're
says,
negotiating here.
no,
Bring
I,
us Scarlet.
I mean,
I
he
don't,
just
I don't fully
Rose,
believe
or
you. She
whatever her
says,
name is.
Don't fully believe who.
I don't think that you
Fungus.
all will do this for me. It seems
You-
like you are split on this. So unfortunately, as I said, I'm going to have to, well, you know. What do you all want to do?
Well,
Do
I
you,
guess you've made
really
up my
wanna do
mind.
this?
I was very tempted to work with you, although I wanted to discuss further possibilities. But now you've made up my mind quite in the opposite direction.
She just smiles at you.
Congratulations. You stepped on your own toes.
She
I
says,
say
"My
right
brother
now,
will
you
die
seem
at
worse
some
than your brother."
point, but none of you will be involved." And everyone except Nasira and I think Doodles and Anvir would fall unconscious. And the three of
Oh,
you,
shit.
or the two of you, because Nasira is immune, would also be poisoned. As you would see your allies collapse. And
So I'm
I-
poisoned, but not.
I go
on
into a rage.
yeah, so there are a bunch of guards here who would draw their weapons, and she says,
When I see the others go unconscious, can I pretend to go unconscious?
Sure, give me a deception or performance.
Oof. It's probably not a good idea, but let's see how it goes. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter. And I did not use my inspiration earlier because it ended up I already had advantage on that roll, so I'm now going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
17.
All right. So you are fairly convincing as you kind of plop down on the floor as well. I think only Anvir
So it's
would
just
see through your
Doodles?
deception. It's Doodles and who is it? Anvir, because he can't
Me?
be put to sleep. The rest of you
Yeah,
will fall asleep.
I'll double check. Hold on, let me double check Fayan's history. And
Because yeah, I believe you're right. As an elf, you can't be put to sleep, so
So
you'd
is
be
it
poisoned.
sleep or disease?
I will also say I'm
poison.
pretty sure the way that it's worded is I can't be magically put to
Oh.
sleep, so I don't know
Really?
how that. I have to double check because it's not on
Okay.
my actual character sheet.
Yeah, so you might be
She
out
put something
too.
in the food, didn't she?
Oh, you got it. She says, "I was going to give you the antidote, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen."
Fayan's history and magic can't put you to sleep, so I'm probably asleep.
All right, so the only one awake is
Mungus.
Doodles. Wait, why would Mungus
Oh,
be awake?
shit.
Did I not make the saving throw?
No, you rolled
Uh,
lower than me.
Yeah, you
Oh.
you rolled you rolled pretty low, unfortunately.
Nasir is technically awake, but she's pretending.
Yeah. So the guards would walk over to you, Doodles, and they would say, "Give up your weapons." And basically, they're trying to take you prisoner.
My scimitar here? Friends, hold on. You just want us to chop your brother's head off?
So at this point, she is going to walk out of the room, but the guards are basically just grabbing you all.
Oh gosh.
Well, then, I'm gonna cast Mass Suggestion.
Nice.
I
Alright.
start strumming my guitar. We're not in combat yet, right?
Up to 12. That's fucking amazing. Wow.
You're not in combat yet, but they would see you
Cool.
casting.
That's okay. But if we're not in combat,
They don't
Alright.
have this advantage or whatever.
Level of 0?
I believe they have disadvantage against.
It's
any
not
counter-
disadvantage, they just don't have advantage. I
Yeah, it
think.
would be a normal
Cool.
roll.
That works.
All right. So you're trying
So
pretty
to.
sure
I
the
would
way it
say, friends, we can make peace and not kill all of us.
All right. So they have to roll saving
Wisdom?
throws. All right. Maybe they'll all fail. Let's see. What's the DC on this?
17.
So the when you said you had a guitar on your back, it's actually the Bandor.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So, what was the suggestion?
The suggestion was to let us out of the room
All right.
and wake us up. Yeah, so yeah, let us out of the room.
So, 6 of the guards would nod, but two of them would run over and attack you at this point.
Oh, you bastards.
So I
I
don't
gotcha.
really have a combat board for this. Hang on a
Just
moment.
put us on any grid. It's a big square room. It's a big square dining hall, right?
Actually, why don't we do this next time? Because we are at end here.
Oh no. Okay.
So next time we will see what happens to the Grey Wanderers, as
Fuck that bitch.
the sister of Voli seems to have turned on you.
I half expected it to be a trick question and her trying to attack us if we did say yes.
Honestly, Nasira was kind of down, but she wanted more information, and then Mungus was clearly down. But she was not willing to discuss it further.
Listen,
So, yeah.
it seems like that's a common theme amongst the Grey Wanderers.
Welcome to the group, Doodles. We take you to a brothel.
And then we get you killed.
He gets
That's
beat
okay,
up by a
okay.
bunch of
Hopefully
guards.
not.
Well,
Oh,
maybe you
wow.
all can escape. We'll see.
Well,
If
now
some of
that
us,
he
depending
has...
on that, what kind of sleep we're in, we could wake
Well,
up. through
now
this.
that Doodles has managed to incapacitate
Well-
5 of them, Nasira is faking, so she might be able to help either wake up some others. Although I don't know if it was ingested, it might not be something I can.
So there
Shake
were
you out
a
of.
lot of guards here. You probably wouldn't want to take on the whole house.
Well, right, but you said that there was 7 in the room. Is that right?
Yes, but sounds of combat will probably bring others.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
Depends on what
Say-
happens.
There are
Maybe
no
if we
sound
can
of
wake
combat.
Eldwin up, maybe he can
Probably
just
would start.
teleport us all out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe you guys can escape. I wasn't expecting so many people to not be affected by it. But
You can also end the poison condition, Zero, as the Mercy Monk.
I got 4 votes. I need 2 more.
Oh, sorry.
Well, just one more. LJ
Anvir,
went
you're not
away
supposed to be
already.
giving away all my
Oh, did he
plans.
leave?
Yeah, he left a while ago.
Did he say why?
He said,
Yeah.
unfortunately, he had to go to bed. He had just come back early from work.
Oh,
and then
okay.
thought he was gonna come back.
I see. No worries then.
Yeah, he left.
Alright.
I think just before we actually went into
Yeah,
the
it hasn't
mansion.
been too long ago. Yeah.
So Doodles with 3 votes, you're MVP.
Well, thank you.
Congrats.
Did you say dudes?
Doodles.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, your nickname is now Dude.
You know, this is Doodles is an evolution from Lincoln, so I'll let you figure that out.
Lincoln. Did you say Blinken?
Lincoln, like the
Lincoln,
capital of what is that state? Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Capital of Nebraska.
I wasn't sure if
Good
you
old
guys
creation, bud.
would actually take the job of killing Voli, since I know
I
how much
mean,
you
like,
hate him.
it's possible that we would have. We just did not have the opportunity
Oh.
to.
My
Yeah.
main argument was
You're
that
like
so
a
far she
fair
hasn't
deal.
given us a reason why we would want to
Well,
kill it.
No,
and the fact that you
Nasira
asked her
wasn't-
for a reason made her think you were not the type of people to
Yeah.
do it. Because she
Well,
didn't
I
want
mean,
to give
and-
you a reason. She just wanted you to say
well,
yes.
and like, Mungus shouted out that, basically, yeah, give us what we want and we'll give you what you want. And then, like, Nasira asked questions, but she was
I
actually.
mean, the big thing was
persuadable.
one of your people tried to leave too, so that pretty much
Oh.
made
That's
her.
true.
But
One of
for
my
you-
people
you
for
do
less than
something.
24 hours.
At that point,
I
she's
was
like, "All right."
trying to not listen and like not be a part of all this.
No,
Yeah,
as
but
soon
you
as
already
those
were.
guys blocked your way, I started getting. Honestly, the fact that they blocked your way actually made me more suspicious.
Yeah, I mean,
Screw them all. I'll just
her-
cast Dawn on the room and fuck everyone.
I mean, her intent here was either to get allies against her brother or kill her brother's allies. So that was her
I
thing.
don't- I don't
Yeah.
know her
So
brother.
the way we described
Yeah, we don't
ourselves,
know her
we're
brother
very
either.
neutral.
Hardly.
Yeah,
We don't really
she,
know her brother either.
She didn't know too much about why you guys were working with him.
He brought us here. That was more or less it.
Yeah.
He's a
We needed an
douche.
inn, and he
He's a
gave us an inn.
douche.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway,
Well,
the die is cast. We'll see where this goes.
apparently, I'm sorry, friends.
We're all good.
Yeah, it
Alright,
wasn't.
bounce, guys.
It wasn't really
Thank
your
you.
fault. I mean, it was. Yeah, you guys just didn't say yes right away, so that made her worry. But yeah, I'll see you next time.
Yeah, when you approach people asking to kill people, that's any hesitation is usually not good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh,
I'd argue you
now-
might want to do more background checks
now
on
it's
the people
awkward.
you're about to ask to kill somebody.
Honestly,
Oh, no,
like
you
if
just
I'm
kill them if
hiring,
they say no.
if I'm hiring someone and they just immediately agree without asking any questions, to me that's a little suspicious. But
Have
I
you
know there's
hired many
it's
killers?
situational. Yeah.
I'm now curious how many times you've hired somebody to kill somebody.
She can.
I didn't say
She has
hiring someone to
stories.
kill someone. I
Hi-
said hiring somebody to
Look,
do
when
a
I
job.
hire my murderers, I have to get a background check.
Hypothetically, if I were to hire some contract killers,
Yeah, hypothetically speaking, of course.
yeah.
If they hesitated, they're done.
Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is. So we shall see where it goes.
Yeah, it's annoying that whole Fey ancestry thing is only magic. Can't put you to sleep.
Yeah, it's interesting because there are a bunch of sleep poisons, like drow
Yeah,
poisons
'cause,
that put you to sleep.
I don't know why, but yeah, for some reason, Fey ancestry is not one of the features on my actual sheet, even though it is a thing
I thought elves
get.
just couldn't sleep because
I
but
thought that was
but I guess it's just magic sleep.
I think it's a lore thing that they can't sleep, but
Yeah,
like,
because technically, I guess elves can sleep if they want to. It's just they can just meditate, so they don't have to.
probably,
They don't need to, yeah.
well, I
I think actually
they don't
where
need
we
to is the thing.
Yeah.
just I think it might be important for next session, where I know we were doing kind of theater of the mind in this dining hall, but
Yeah, I'll map it out for next time.
yeah. Who was sitting next to me will be important for the very first beginning of this combat next session.
But yeah, now you can go tell Voli, and he'll be your ally.
Okay, apparently the poison itself will specify if it can't affect elves, so...
Oh, okay.
It's interesting that Voli was like interested in coming with our group because we were willing to pay so much for a delivery errand, and yet he comes from a noble family, so it seems like, why is he so interested in money? That's so weird.
You would probably guess he just likes the adventure. Like, that's probably why he does... I mean, at this point,
He's a
that's
thrill-
probably
he's a
why he
thrill
does,
seeker.
yeah, all the stuff he does. He likes,
Like in the real world, he would go to theme parks, but this is like
yeah,
high
he's,
fantasy world, and yeah, in the deep. So this is his.
he likes to
his
get
thrill ride.
get dirty. Yeah, he likes to. He lived in nobility his whole life, and he is enjoying hobnobbing with bandits and killers and adventurers and people in the lower city. Like, yeah, that's what you would guess, which is probably why his sister does not like him.
Her portrait still reminds me of Gwyneth Paltrow.
Really? I didn't think it looked like Gwen.
I don't. It doesn't look very similar to me.
I
Besides
don't know.
being blonde.
It was AI
Actually-
generated, so
No, now
I
that
mean-
I'm looking at it more, you know who it actually reminds me of is Margot Robbie.
really?
I'm heading out
No,
to see you all
It
next week.
definitely reminds
Yeah,
me of an
see you
actress,
next week.
Glad to be
but I
back.
can't remember
Thank you for
who.
the session.
Yeah.
Good night.
So
Definitely reminds me of somebody.
Lou.
Yes.
So we were talking about how, like, when I was talking to Matt yesterday about kind of the summary of the campaign and stuff, and you kind of jumped in on the bit about Steel Shadow, and like